You are now tuned in to the Premier Hotspur TV. Sit back, get involved, comment away, because we are live.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Premier Hotspur TV. It's your man Simon, North of England's biggest Spurs fan. Yes, guys, we are back with another post-match player ratings for the Newcastle versus Tottenham end up 2-2. It wasn't, and the result we was waiting for, we was wanting, guys. I think the actual performance wasn't great as well, but we'll get into that. We have got special guests in here. Co-host Matt, welcome back to the channel, pal.
Thank you, mate.
And we've got special guest Lily White Lane, Robbie. Matt, you've been away for a couple of days, having a couple of days rest, mate.
Yeah, mate.
But obviously been busy in the background. How's it going?
Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah, I hope everyone had obviously a good Easter. A little bit of overindulgence. I'm sure everyone had a few chocolate eggs and things like that. But I tried not to let yesterday's game, ruin my sort of weekend. I think we've learnt this season, and I suppose from last season, I don't know. You just got to kind of crack on with it, and there's no point letting it get down on you because it will just play on your mind. That's not to say that we're not passionate. If you just because you don't show it, it's just you. I think that there's just not much. I suppose feeling and connection to the club. It's definitely the furthest I felt unconnected to the club. Definitely this last year. Absolutely,
Matt. Nice. It's nice to have you back on the inbound. Robbie, how's it going, pal? Thanks for coming back on, mate. How was your weekend apart from this result, mate?
Yeah, all good. Had a good Easter, I'd say. It's bank holiday Monday, so fantastic Easter, fantastic weekend, fantastic day. It's a pleasure to be back on. Hope you all had a good weekend, I say, and looking forward to doing the show.
Yeah, nice one, guys. We've got a couple of lads in the thing. Bob's Spur TV. Looking forward to this, lads. Thanks for that, Bob's. It was already in there, so I don't know if he's in the actual thing, but thanks for that, Bob's. Luke's in here. Yo, people, thanks for coming back on, Luke. I ain't seen you for a bit, pal. Harry, same as you as well. Harry says Levy set up. Enough is enough. Poor game after poor game. It's embarrassing when we'll actually be a club, a good club. He means. Faults with Big Dave and Paul. Yes, Paul's back in. How's it going, pal? How's it going, mate? Yes, guys. As again, guys, yesterday, we'll go into the player ratings in a minute, guys. Just was a couple of questions. Just this one. Was the lineup correct? Matt, we'll go over to you, mate. Was it correct from the start?
I mean, it won against Villa. I was sort of pretty happy with it. I just wanted to see Toby Alderweireld in there, which is beginning to become a bit of a weird one at the moment with Toby. Obviously, we're hearing reports that he was late on return, but apparently that was a load of rubbish. And apparently the club sort of sources have confirmed that he was back on the Wednesday. He was pitching in training on the Friday. So something's clearly going on there. We saw Tanganga, we saw Roden, and you couldn't really drop Vinicius because he had a really good game against Villa. So, I mean, I'd say probably Sanchez should have been dropped for Toby, but apart from that, I think it was pretty spot on, to be honest.
Yeah, nice one there, Matt. Robbie, was the lineup correct? Do you agree with Matt? Let's go and Finn.
Look, I think the lineup was fine. There was no issues with the lineup. The way it was executed, that was my issue. Obviously, I'm going to delve into that as the live stream goes on. But in my opinion, it was the same lineup as Aston Villa. Cannot understand people who were complaining about it beforehand the game. It's the same lineup that got 3 points against Aston Villa. If he would have changed it, people would have been questioning him, saying, why did you change it? The only one I can completely agree with Matt there, I think it should have been Toby in there, but obviously there's a bigger issue, which I'll get to later in the stream. But there was no issues with the lineup for me.
Yeah. I was surprised with the lineup, not seeing Gareth Bale in there, and that's the one. I like to see him, even if he come off the bench a bit more earlier. But I would like to see him started yesterday. Because I'm not liking this 4. It's like he's going like a 4-2-2 at the minute, isn't it? And it just didn't. Okay, it works against Villa, but it doesn't say it's going to work against other teams. I mean, so to me, I think he got that a bit wrong yesterday, and the setup of the team. But as what Matt said there, Vinicius, he did have a quite good game against Villa. He got a goal. So he wasn't corrected by dropping him. So I think by playing him yesterday, I think was Son was he fit enough? And that's the question. Was he fit enough to start yesterday? I just think we missed something like that going forward. Me personally, and he brought on the subs too late. That's my question. He brought them too late, far too late again. I think he should have mixed that up again. But apart from that. Yeah, Tanganga. I was great to see him. Great to see Roden as well, playing back-to-back games. I thought he was our best defender yesterday. I thought he looked a more experienced senior defender yesterday. He's showing Davison Sanchez how to defend. Really, he tried his best. Roden, that's what I can say. He did try his best, but he wasn't getting no help from others, was he? I'm sorry guys, when we get to we've got Luke here, 3 subs for 4. Yes, Luke. Nothing wrong there, mate. With the lineup. Got Finn. How's it going, Finn, pal? All right, lads. We've got Paul. I was surprised not to see Son starting, having come back from injury. That's what I'm saying, Paul. Was he fully fit to start that game yesterday? I think that's the question mark. And Luke says, I wanted to see Bale on the pitch a lot earlier, and Lo Celso wasn't that good yesterday. I'll come back with that, guys. I just want a question about Lo Celso in a minute, guys. Simon, yes, Simon, thanks for coming back in, pal. The players are not happy with Jose, guys. And Dareth, how's it going, pal? You have to start Sonny and Bale. Bale is getting a raw deal. From Jose bringing on Lamela instead of him is a joke. We'll go back to this one, guys. What Luke was saying. Lo Celso, he wasn't that good yesterday. Matt, we'll come to you first again. Is Luke correct yesterday? Wasn't Lo Celso's best game yesterday? Did he look lethargic yesterday? He started okay. I think he tired very easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I suppose he's been out for over 22 games or something like that. To throw him in, international break, it would have been a time to rest. But for him, he probably needs a lot more game time, to get his touch back and things like that. There was glimpses of stuff he could do. Defensively, wasn't good enough. He switched off for the Newcastle's equaliser. It's a tough one with him because Bale hasn't. If you say Lo Celso hasn't been great, Bale scored a couple of goals, but he hasn't really put a shift in. It's down to a team performance. If one player doesn't pull their weight, then it lets the side down. Or, you look at.
That's Matt frozen there. While Matt sorts his connection out. Lily White Lane, we'll go to you, mate. Lo Celso. Luke said it wasn't his best performance yesterday in the game. Do you agree?
Yeah, I don't think Lo Celso was good at all. But at the end of the day, you can't complain about him starting, in my opinion. He's just come back from injury. He's had a game against Aston Villa. Yes, it wasn't the greatest, and yes, it was a little poor, but it was a comeback game. I say you should have played him in this game instead of Bale, right? And I can't understand people who are saying, I wanted to see Bale on the pitch. After the controversial comments he made in the international break, it's clear to me to see he's using this club as a stepping stone. He's using this club as a stepping stone to get fit for the Euros, get fit so we can maybe get a little more game time at Real Madrid. For all I care, he can go back to Madrid. He can sit on that bench on Madrid if he's going to come out and make those comments in the international break. I don't want to see him. I understand his history, but we want to move forward. We cannot dwell on the past, and we can't dwell on Gareth Bale basically being an absolute star before, when right now he's not doing absolutely anything. Plus, you got to see him coming on. What did he actually do? He didn't track back, basically, right? Didn't track back. Nearly cost us a third goal, let's say, because he didn't have his man and skied a free kick. So I simply can't understand wanting to see Bale start. I heard a lot of people say it beforehand. I, for one, didn't want to see Bale start, but in my opinion, I can understand where you're coming from on Gio. I don't think Gio's performance was good enough.
Saying about Gio, Bale, I can see where you're coming from, but to me, he did come back out. He did come back out and said, "Listen, Matt's back in. Listen, on Bale, seriously, mate." He did come back out and say, "Listen, I think what he meant there, Robbie, what he meant about, I don't think he meant to come out that way, that he wants to go back to Real Madrid. I think what he's trying to say, that he's only got a season-long loan at Tottenham, so that means he has to go back to Madrid in the summer. I mean, and unless Tottenham can sort out another loan deal for next season. So I think people just going off the rails a bit. I mean, about this, I think they're taking it out of they're taking out the content a bit too big with this Bale thing, because I think he did actually mean it that way, that he has to go back to Madrid because his contract is up at the end of the season. But I can see where people are saying from. People think it's just using us as a training facility for the Euros, as people's opinions. But me personally, I just think he's entitled to say that he's going back to Madrid because that's where his contract. That's his parent club, isn't it? As his contract is held at Madrid, until Tottenham say, right, we've agreed another season-long loan for you, so he can come back. But hey, I can see where you're coming from, Gareth Bale yesterday. I don't know how long did Gareth get yesterday? 10 minutes, guys, something like that.
Yeah, and all he done in those 10 minutes was sky a free kick and basically nearly cost us the game. I don't see how that's good enough. And as I say, you're entitled to your own opinion, Simon. But I just believe those comments that he made in the international break about basically saying, I came to Tottenham Hotspur and it was never going to be more than a year. It was all years. Yes, I understand you on a loan deal, but don't start complaining and basically saying you used us to get your match fitness back, right? Because you came to this club, and it's fine if you want to say that, but you came to this club and your first thing was, I came in to give it my all. It feels so good to be back in North London. And only about now he's coming out with these comments that he feels basically that Tottenham Hotspur basically is kind of a training facility for the Euros, training facility so we can go back to Wales. In my opinion, that's not good enough, and I can't understand that from a professional footballer who's created a legacy at Tottenham Hotspur, went to Madrid, struggled at Madrid, came to Tottenham Hotspur, and all he's really come to Tottenham Hotspur to do is get some game time so he can be fit for the Euros. But those are my thoughts and opinions on Bale.
Yeah. Matt, what was your thoughts on Gareth Bale? I think he's frozen again. Well, the thing is, Robbie, he only got 4 minutes yesterday. He only got 4. He got bring on the 80th minute.
Yeah, but you need to do something in those 4 minutes. And only did he do nothing, he nearly cost us a goal by losing his man.
It's been loads of players at other clubs. You can say that about loads of players making come on.
I can't even hear
trying to make an. Matt, can you hear us, pal?
Matt?
He'll come back in a minute. Yes, I just think we're starting a bit too much of him. I know what he's saying. Oh yeah, we're paying 200 grand, but trying to throw everything on Gareth Bale to change the game. I mean, I've just where the game should be wrapped up. Me personally, before Gareth Bale come on the pitch, I just think. I just think we missed our chances yesterday, mate. That's the thing. And I don't think we created enough yesterday. I think Newcastle had 17 shots on goal, something like that. 22 shots.
They had
22 shots. 22 shots. I've got it in front of me now.
22 shots.
22 shots. When does Newcastle ever have 22 shots against a team? It's very rare. Very rare. And Tottenham had 11. I mean, I think it's more than Gareth Bale. I know you're not blaming solely on Gareth Bale, Robbie. I know that. But I think it's more than Gareth Bale, mate. Yesterday,
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying on his comments because I'm just saying his comments.
I know. Yeah, comments. Yeah.
But I know, and I'm sure I'll delve into it as the stream goes on. There's a bigger issue with the club. There's a bigger issue and there's an issue with everything. But I'm sure I'll get to that later in the stream. But as I say, I was just stating that I don't think his comments were right for a player to make. I think that's more of an agent's job to make those kind of comments instead of a player. Those are just my thoughts because, a player just has to say, I'm going back to Madrid in the summer, basically. I'll go back to Madrid in the summer when my loan expires. You don't have to expand on that. Just be honest. Say you're enjoying football at Tottenham Hotspur. Say you're not enjoying football if you have to and you're not enjoying football. But in my opinion, it's an agent's job to talk about what's going on in the summer, what clubs he's moving to and from. I just don't think that's down to the player, in my opinion. You see the likes of Mina Raiola, so I can't speak. I don't like him at all. I think he's a knobhead as an agent. But the way he'll basically talk for his players and he won't let them speak is the way that I believe agents should be. They're the ones to talk about transfer business. They're the ones to talk about what happens with those players. But those are my thoughts and opinions on the Bale situation. But as I say, there's a much, much, much bigger thing going on at Tottenham Hotspur. Much, much bigger than Gareth Bale.
Yeah. Nice one there, Bobby. We've got Everything Football Finn. Any other opinions on Phoenicius yesterday? Yes, we'll get back to that quickly in a minute, mate. In Eternal 17, hello, Matt, Simon, Lily White Lane. Thanks for joining, mate. Beloved Hotspur, Adam, thanks for joining, bro. Good to see you, Matt. Hope always okay. Let's hope West Ham don't win tonight. Yeah. And Carlos, big up, fellas. Yes, thanks for coming in. And he got 3 minutes. Yeah, that's what he's going on about Gareth Bale. Kelly JTV, Jose now lying to the fans. Yes, we'll get onto that. That's another question later on. And Yusuf, hello. I think you were laughing at the Chelsea result. Who's laughing now? We did lose 5.
We don't lose 5-2 to West Bromwich Albion.
Yusuf, you could have been closer to top 4, but now you are 5th, I think. Well, West Ham just gone 1 up, Lingard, so that's not a very good one. And Paul says frustration, reputation side. Our day will come. Lots and lots of patience. Yeah. How long we got to wait though, Paul? Thanks for coming in, pal. Thanks for coming in, Yusuf. Yeah, this is the one I want to go on. Robert, it's this question here. What did you make of Jose's comments after the game?
Brutally, honestly, not right. Not morally right, wrong for him to make those comments. I think it's absolutely disgusting. I think it's disgraceful. You can't go out there and track back on what you said at the beginning of the season. Don't go flip-flopping, Jose, because if I recount, when you first got this Tottenham Hotspur job, you said the players are good enough, I don't need transfer business, all of this, backing the players. And now you're saying same manager, different players. What that's implying is basically all these players are awful. Basically, it's the same manager, but all these players are awful. Right. Let me take you back to his Porto days. Back in his Porto days, the guy was doing incredible. He could make players. But as of recent, ever since, Chelsea can still make players, but as of recent, his last Chelsea job, the United job, and this one, all I've seen from Jose Mourinho is that he can't make players. He needs about 250 million for fans to be appeased with him, for fans to say, if you back him, then basically he'll win you stuff. He needs about 250 million for people to calm down, 250 million to succeed at this rate. He needs the best players in the world because he can't make them anymore, in my opinion. So as I say, he needs loads of money to actually, go out there and win stuff. He needs loads and loads of money to prove himself. He can't make players anymore, in my opinion. And is it a coincidence that every single job he's taken ever since he lost that Chelsea job, ever since he left Real Madrid to go to Chelsea, he lost 3 jobs in a row. And those, down to me, I don't see it as a coincidence that every single one of those has come down to dressing room bust-ups, massive issues, people speaking out, division in the fan base. And this has never happened to Tottenham Hotspur. Granted, we've all thought things about the board, but we've always been seen as a team that's calm, basically a team that's all right and everything. Just a really, really nice team with a passionate fan base who are all there to support the club. Now we're seeing divided fan base. People saying Jose in, people saying Jose out, people saying you agree with these comments, people saying you can't stand him, people saying you love him, back Jose, don't back Jose. He's caused such, how do I put this? I'm trying to find, there we go, such a toxic atmosphere. That's the one. He's created such a toxic atmosphere at this club, in my opinion, that he has no other choice now but to go, right? And I've backed Jose ever since he come into Tottenham Hotspur. I've said, he's going to be the right man for the job. Yet he has been backed. He's back with Højbjerg, Reguilon, Bergwijn, even Gedson, although it didn't turn out, he was back with Gedson, Højbjerg, Bergwijn, as I say, Reguilon, all these players, Joe Hart even, he was back with Joe Hart, Vinicius. Granted, some of them may not be his signings, but he was back with these players much, much more than Pochettino. What did Pochettino do? Get us top 4 consistently. What has Jose Mourinho done? Taken us out of the top 4, gotten us European football last season in the Europa League, knocked us out of the Europa League, and we find ourselves in a second season where the man we brought in to win us trophies has only gotten us to a Carabao Cup final against Manchester City, and that's about it. We've been knocked out of the Europa League 3-0 to Dynamo Zagreb. We're struggling to get top 4. It'll be fantastic if we do, but it's going to be really, really hard. And we dug our own grave out yesterday. And those comments, yes, the board are at fault. Yes, the scouting network is at fault. Yes, the coaching staff is at fault. But massively right now, Jose is at fault because he's flip-flopping. He can't make his mind up, in my opinion. He's changing his opinions. He's making comments, calling out players constantly, calling out certain players, but not calling out others when they don't make mistakes. It's all over the place. Coincidence? I think not. I don't think he's the right man for the job. And that's why I think those comments are disgraceful.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from there a little bit. I just think it's not a good idea coming out after games and calling players out, which I don't agree with. But to me, it's the one when he lied about saying Toby missed a COVID test. Well, him and Aurier missed a COVID test, and they didn't train Wednesday or Thursday. But we've seen the clips from Thursday. That he was behind Son jumping over the hurdles. So, I mean, and it just goes to show that there is something going on.
He'll do anything to take the spotlight off of him. Anything to take the spotlight off of him and blame it on others.
But to me, Robbie, maybe I know there's a lot of there's more Josie outs and Josie ins at the minute, and everyone's got their own opinions. But I just see it as maybe he's calling out these players. Maybe it's just like a shout out to the board saying, listen, because he's been at Chelsea, he's been at United and things like that, been at Madrid, he's had proper men, he's had proper winners, proper winning mentality players. I mean, and maybe he's probably saying Joey's little sly comments and little sly digs he does, Robbie, and maybe they're just like saying like these players are not good enough. They haven't got the right mentality. They haven't got the winning mentality. They're like boys. They're not men. I mean, they cry over anything. If I'm not starting, they whinge. I mean,
yeah, but how come that happens?
Get back into the team.
That happens at every club now, Simon. This is what I don't understand, because Jose Mourinho causes a toxic atmosphere everywhere he goes. At Manchester United, he was back. He was back with Eric Bailly. He was back with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, a fantastic Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Back with Paul Pogba. That transfer cost about 110 million. He was back there, yet he still gets a sack in his third season for creating a toxic atmosphere and saying the players are not good enough. Those are the same players that you scouted, the same players that you picked. And in my opinion, we're seeing the same signs of Tottenham Hotspur that we did at the beginning of the end for Jose Mourinho at Chelsea, the beginning of the end for him at Manchester United. And in my opinion, he's playing an out-of-date style of football. And I understand the style of football is not the main thing, but the style of football you've got an attacking group of players, and it's even more comments from Sissoko. It dates back to more comments from him a few months ago. He's only teaching us to defend. And hang on a second, right? I'm not sure if you recall, Simon, but I'm just thinking Sissoko, ever since he made those comments about Jose Mourinho just coaching them to defend, I haven't seen him anywhere near that starting 11. And once again, coincidence? I think not. He will do anything to paper over the cracks, in my opinion. Basically paper over the cracks and the main issues at the club and the issues that he is somewhat causing here and there as well. Now, I'm not saying it's all Jose, but I'm saying a lot of it is Jose, and he'll do anything to deflect the blame onto the players, blame everything on the players. The same players, a lot of them are the same players that he's choosing to play out there, the same players that he brought into the club, and the same players who, yes, are letting him down, but there has to be a reason why they're not playing for him.
Yes, but as I see it, Robbie, they're professional footballers. They're not getting paid by Jose. They're getting paid by Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I mean, they're getting paid by Tottenham Hotspur Club. They're not getting paid by Jose. At the end of the day, if they don't like Jose's tactics or things like that, go out and give 110%. They're not giving 110% for this club at the minute, mate. And I can see that everyone can say, like, jump on the bandwagon. I'm getting tired of saying, oh, it's Jose's fault, it's Jose's fault. When are the players going to take responsibility for these performances as well? I'm not saying it's not Jose. When are these players going to take responsibility for these performances as well?
Yeah,
I mean, because they're not being.
It was a few weeks ago, Simon, that I was saying, I'm sorry I keep interrupting you, but it was a few weeks ago I said on my show, you know, Jose isn't taking the blame. Jose needs the right man for the job. It's the players. Yes, the players are letting him down, but you've got class players in there, such as Harry Kane, Heung-min Son,
Yeah,
even
the Kanes and the Sons are backing him. The Kanes and the Sons are backing Mourinho. So it's not these sort of players who are not going out and giving 110% because you can see the performance of Kane. He never drops. It's very rare you see Kane, his levels drop. Son's the same. Okay, over the last 7-8 games, that could be contract issues. It could be like burning out issues. I mean, that could be sort of a few issues there. But to me, these are the sort of players who are playing for Jose. And to me, it's the rat bags who are not playing for Jose. You know what I mean? That's why I see it, mate. Seriously. Like the Dele Allis at the minute. He don't give a toss about this football club. Yeah, I'll tell you now, he don't give a fucking toss about this football club. He'll rather sit on the bench, right? He'll sit on the flipping bench, right? He said, you know what? I'm rubbing my hands here. I'm getting my flipping £100 a week. I can go back home. I can have all the lavish flipping, the girls, have the lovely cars. I don't give a toss about this fucking football club. As long as I get fucking my money every week. These are the sort of players are letting Jose down at the minute. Yes, Jose can take blame for certain things, pal. But these are the sort of players who put Pochettino under the bus. Now these are the sort of players who are now putting Mourinho on the bus because they can't get their own way. That's the reason, mate. Because they can't get their own way.
Look, I completely agree with you with some of these players because there's a lot of players, the likes of Harry Winks, Dele Alli, Moussa Sissoko, all of these. But these players aren't playing right now. These players are not playing in the squad right now. And it's the players on the pitch that he's picking who are letting him down. And in my opinion, as I say, it's not just Jose. There's a bigger picture. But it's so hard to argue with Jose out at this rate because the man's coming out with these comments in the press, right? And you see it every single time. You saw hints of it at Manchester United, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. When this man will do anything and everything to deflect the blame off himself, at least take some blame. At least say, okay, I got it wrong today. Look at Mikel Arteta, right? I can't stand the bloke. But you look at what he did after the Arsenal game. He said it was a disgrace. You know, I'm very, very sorry to the fans. I will take the blame for this one, not the players. I will take the blame. Now, the players were the main reason they let him down in that Arsenal game, but he still took some of the blame. He still took some of the blame because he got it wrong. You look at Jose Mourinho's comments. I'm frustrated. Here's the comments that he made after the game. I am frustrated. We needed to win the match and we came to win. We were not far from winning it. We were far from winning it. We were not far from winning it. We were far from winning it. And what's down to the tactics? I can't understand why you're telling Steven Bergwijn, who's a class right winger, for example, to sit back and play defensive football. These players are having to rely on the methods that Pochettino taught them because Jose Mourinho is not practicing tactics when it comes to the attacking style of football because he does not play it, and he expects these players to put the ball into the back of the net countless times and outscore our opponents. Our defence isn't good enough, right? And how many times do you have to persist in saying we cannot keep defending, we cannot keep playing defensive football, right? Defensive football worked at the beginning of the season, granted. Then we stuck with our basically it worked at the beginning of the season, granted. We played the same tactics, it worked. It constantly worked. But then teams started to figure us out until everyone figured us out, just like the Manchester United job, just like all these other jobs. So we had to change it around. You change it around, what happens? We get 4 wins out of 4. And what happens? We have 2 big games against Arsenal and Dynamo Zagreb. We play defensive football once again. We lose them both. Aston Villa, we play with attacking intent. We win the game. You change it around to play defensive football again in this one against Newcastle United. We lose the game. The only reason, not lose the game, we drew the game, but it feels like a loss. The only reason we drew that game too was because of 2 moments of magic from Harry Kane, and he does not deserve this football club. He doesn't deserve the pain that this football club is basically given to him. And in my opinion, he's washing away his career. As much as I love him, he is washing away a fantastic footballing career at this club, because we are ruining his career. We're ruining his career. We're surrounding him with woeful players. We're surrounding him with a toxic atmosphere. Jose's at fault, the board's at fault, the players at fault. I just can't seem to understand what's going on at our football club, because there's so many issues. And anyone who says we don't need rebuild, get out, because I believe we need a rebuild. No matter what, there's no point papering over the cracks. The magnitude of the rebuild this club needs is massive, absolutely huge. And is Jose the right man for that, in my opinion? No, I don't believe so. But I hand it back to you now, Simon.
Right, nice one, Robbie. Matt, nice one for coming back in, pal.
Sorry, mate, internet problems, but all good now.
Not a problem, pal. Absolutely not a problem. Before we get back to you, mate, I just want to ask you this question here, mate. We've got Dareth. Once he lied about Toby returning late, I can't see how the players will have any respect for him or even want to play for him. Bobby says Jose lied. Fact. Bob says send me a link, buddy. I'll come on later if you pick up both of you. Facts and stats. All right, Siley, the White Lane and chat. I'm so annoyed with these results and this season, and it's becoming so hard to watch this team play. I can't wait to go back to work. Nice one, facts and stats. Thanks for joining in, pal. John says, hi, guys. If all Jose has been doing is to teach them to defend, then it hasn't been doing a very good job, has he? Thanks for coming in, pal. The Yid says, how's it going, guys? Thanks, pal. Danny, thanks for coming in, pal. Hello, boys. And the Yid says, thanks for the 30 subs. Not a problem. Get Premier to 400. Yeah, we're nearly there. Simon says strong words. Yes, it was. Seriously, I'm sad enough of these sort of players who are throwing Jose on the bus at the minute. John says some of that defending yesterday was a joke. What did you think to him bringing Bale on with 3 minutes to go? And apparently he was about to bring Sissoko on before they equalised. John, we'll get back to that in a minute, mate. Thanks for joining us, mate. Matt, come back to you, pal. What do you think of the Jose comments, mate?
Well, it's not looking too good, is it? I think slowly but surely is losing the fans. Definitely the players. They're gone, I believe, or going anyway. Maybe there's a couple that are sort of hanging in there. I don't know, mate. It's just a real big mess. I don't know if you just wait to the end of the season now and then you have to really look at it and reevaluate. I just don't see the point in him being chucked out unless it gets really bad and he just starts calling out, loads of different players and things like that. But I agree with Robbie. He has to come out and take blame as well. It can't just be you can't just be the players all the time. You have to be a collective, and as a team, you've got to, as the manager or even as you're in your coaching staff, you've got to accept that something's not quite going right, and you need to adapt. But you also need to take blame, because if you just keep, blaming the players, I think it will affect their confidence and just affect their them wanting to play for him.
Yeah, I was saying, mate. I just said to Robbie there. I do not agree with Jose coming out. and speaking about these players after games, which is totally wrong. He should do that privately. He should do that behind doors. I've always said that. But maybe, as I said to Robbie there, Matt, I don't know if you heard that. Maybe he's just saying these sort of digs, sort of comments, aiming at the ball, saying, "Listen, I haven't got the sort of mentality players, winners, men. I'm talking about men when I had at Madrid, Chelsea, United, Inter Milan, Porto. I mean, he had winners. He had proper men, not boys. I mean, and people who actually got on with their jobs. Maybe some of them players didn't like Jose, but they got on with the job and they've done what Jose wanted to. I just think some of these players, as I said to Robbie there, some of these players, mate, as I pointed out, Dele Alli, he don't give two fucks about his club. He don't give two flying fucks. He's get his money, mate. He'll rather sit on that bench, laughing his head off, all these silly things he does on benches. You know what I mean? Going back home, all these lovely ladies keep going back to his house, flash cars. That's all he cares about, mate. As long as he's getting that pay packet at the end of the week, mate, he don't give two hoots about his club. And I think not only Dele, mate, there is far too many players like that at this football club who's been here too long, got their feet under the carpet, mate, right? And they're too comfy here. And I think Jose is trying to just put the word out there, trying to shout out to the ball, say, listen, you've got too many of these players at this club. I mean, are not good enough. Are not they're not strong mentality enough. They're not winners, right? I can name you a few guys in the camp who will back me, who are probably winners, who probably want to win big trophies, and there's the rest of the team who don't want it. You know what I mean? That's and that's probably what he's trying to shout out. You know what I mean? But as you said, Jose has to take blame. He has to take blame, of course. I mean, you can't say it's all on the players and it's all on the board. It's everything, as Robbie and you said there, from top to bottom. Everyone's got to take blame for this. But this has not been coming since just Jose. Jose's walked into this. It's been Pochettino. You know what I mean? When Pochettino's days there. And when people, do you know what? Do you always laugh, you know? And when people go on about Pochettino, about he did a great job for what he had. Okay, he didn't have much money spent on him. Did have 2 transfer windows where he didn't spend money. He got to a Champions League final. Maybe people say lady luck on our side. That's how we got to the Champions League final. But we got there in the end, but we lost it. But he didn't win no trophies. Look at him at PSG at the minute. They couldn't even beat Lille the other night.
Yeah,
he's struggling. And he's got Neymar and Mbappe, the best players in the world, right? And people saying that we've lost one of the best things that has happened to his football club. To me, I think things went sour underneath him, mate. He took us as far as he can, I think. Yeah. And I don't think he was the man to take us forward any further. And we've got a winning coach, and I think we will regret it when we sack Jose. I'm telling you now, because you can bring in another manager, and who said this ball's going to back this next manager? Because this ball, I'm telling you that, it's the owners, mate. It's the owners, because they will not back Jose, and who says they're going to back this next manager? And I can't see it coming, really. I really can't. That's my opinion. Everyone's got their own opinion. We've got Disrex Kane here says Jose's asking for the sack and needs to learn to stop opening his mouth. If he's not happy, he can leave. Rodon was class and Sanchez is garbage. People were saying he is back, but a donkey never changes. And in fact, the stat says, what do you think of Son's performance? We'll come back to that one as well, mate. The Yid says West Ham are 2 up. Yeah, I know. And Danny says, 2 as well. Danny says they will be going to the top 4 tonight. But now West Ham in top 4. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable, isn't it? John says this season.
I couldn't imagine them in the Champions League. It'd be just mental. You imagine seeing something pop up on your screen like, and up next we have Real Madrid versus West Ham United.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. This season we got to the final and the cracks are appearing to show, but the cup run papered over them. Top 943, yes, pal. This is the one he comes in all the time. It's going, all right, Si, Matt, yes, pal. How's it going? Yes. So there's a this one, guys. As you said earlier, is it toxic in the camp now, guys? Guys, does anyone want to answer that one?
I think it's if I haven't answered it earlier in the stream, I think I've never seen this club fan base so divided. I've never seen these players in this squad so divided. Some players look like they want to back Jose and believe he's the right man for the job and want to go out there and play for him and believe he can take us to big things. Others don't believe that in the camp. Others want him out. You hearing all these stories about the likes of Toby Alderweireld, Gareth Bale, if you want to go back to Madrid, all of this, you hear stuff about Toby training and everything. You know, there's no two ways about it. Everywhere Jose Mourinho goes, he causes problems. And I'm not going to hear anything from anyone. Every single place as he goes, there's no excuse. He causes a toxic camp. He causes toxicity, causes toxic atmosphere, and he just causes trouble. He causes unnecessary trouble. As I say, there's massive issues in this club, as I say, and you can't paper over the cracks with You can't paper over the cracks by blaming it all on Jose, but the blame has to go down to Jose for the toxicity in the camp, as I say, because these players, some are playing for him, some aren't playing for him, you know, arguments and everything. We heard about Serge Aurier leaving the stadium a few weeks ago, you know, Moussaka coming out saying he only teaches us defensive football. Obviously, that video being leaked of Gareth Bale with those comments and everything, and only as of recent, the Toby Alderweireld thing. All these stories, it does add up. It does add up into something. And at the end of the day, there is toxicity in our camp. That's what I believe.
Thanks. A nice one for that, Rob. Matt, is there toxic in this camp, mate, at this minute? Is it divided? Do you reckon it's the players? Are the players 50-50? Is there players that actually want to play for him? And who do you reckon, if there is players who actually want, who's the players? Who's the players who actually want to play for Jose at the minute, Matt?
I mean, I think for me it would probably be 60-40. I think it would be 60%, you know, toxic. I suppose the 40%, would be, you know, I mean, your players are likely to be Son, Kane, Højbjerg. I believe Hugo Lloris is probably in that camp of trying to back Jose. I think they're in that camp. I can't see why Joe Rodon wouldn't be. I mean, he's starting to play. Tanganga's sort of getting a bit of a chance. Vinicius, because I suppose he's giving him a go and he's signed him. I can't see him having a problem with him.
Reguilon?
Yeah, probably Reguilon, yeah, but he's starting to look a bit suspect, isn't he, recently, since the injury. Lucas Moura, I believe he does like Mourinho and he has played really well for him. Lamella's seems like he's sort of on Jose's side. But, how many of a name there? Eight players? 8, 9? I mean, you could name about 10 that aren't, so that's the problem you've got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any team that, will get into the top 4 or any team that wins cups, wins league titles, play as a football team. And I'm afraid we don't play as a team. It's as simple as that, and that's why certain players don't pull their weight and they let other players down who really try hard. And that's a simple fact why we won't win anything.
And this is what I called out the other day. The players who don't want to play for this football club, just put them in the under-23s or put them somewhere. Just put them somewhere, just behind the scenes. And it doesn't matter if that means our squad of 22, 23 goes down to 16, 17 players. Because at the end of the day, we can't have these players who's causing trouble in the team. Because I do believe there is players who give Jose an headache. You know what I mean? And we've seen it. Me personally, I think they're the ones who can't take criticism. When Jose says you've got to work hard for me, right? And they just cry off like a little baby. Oh, he's saying I've got to work hard. No, I'm not going to play for you no more. You don't do that as a footballer. A professional footballer doesn't do that. You get paid by the football club. You don't get paid by Jose Mourinho. You go out there and play. You play for the club. You play for the shirt. To me, as what Robbie said, there's so much stuff going on at this club. And how do we know what's going on behind the scenes? We're just guessing. We're just listening to rumours what's coming out of the club at the minute, what's going on at this club.
I think, Simon, we only know about 10% of what honestly goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but we don't know everything what's going on, and I think we'll never know. No one will let us know what's going on in this club. But I do say sacking Jose Mourinho will not be the answer. I don't care what anyone says. He won't not be the answer to sacking Jose Mourinho. Because bringing another manager what tells you, Robbie, right? Because I believe that you're probably a Jose outer at the minute. What gives you belief that sacking Jose Mourinho and bringing someone else in, you're very confident, by the switch of the things gonna go rosy, things are gonna turn around, the ball's gonna end up showing 200 million to this manager. Where's his confidence coming from when you think another manager's going to come in and do the job?
I'm not very confident in whoever we bring in. I don't think it's going to be rosy. But you have to look at a manager such as Jose Mourinho. For him to succeed, you need to give him tons of money right now. It's not back in the day where we could make players and everything, and his tactics were going to win his winning trophies. He got back with 250 million over 3 transfer windows with Manchester United, yet still got the sack for basically nearly finishing mid-table in his 3rd season at Christmas. As I said, in his first 2 seasons, winning the Europa League, granted, but being knocked out of the Champions League early on, and his first season, as I say, winning the Carabao Cup, and it was the Carabao Cup. So, as I say, look, his time at Manchester United for me showed that he can't make players anymore. And if you're looking for a rebuild, you want a young, exciting coach. And for me, if we want to have this rebuild, Jose is not the man, in my opinion. Jose is not the man for this rebuild. You look at a manager such as Jose Mourinho, in my opinion, and you see his tactics are out of date, his playing style's out of date. He clearly doesn't know his best 11. He can't get the best and the most out of these players. As I say, there's a massive issue. He's brought toxicity into the dressing room. For me, we need a young coach. We need someone who's got experience at the same time. For me, the perfect person would be Ten Hag. But whoever we bring in, we need about 5 or 6 years to rebuild this club. And in my opinion, Jose Mourinho is not the man to do it. Jose Mourinho, in my opinion, right? I'll give an in-depth analysis. Everywhere he's been, he's brought a toxic atmosphere to the club. And in my opinion, right now, he's lost the dressing room. No matter how much hard we try to get it back this season, he's lost the dressing room. And there's certain players who don't have the right work ethic. And I completely agree with you there, Simon. As much as I blame Jose for a lot of it, the players aren't good enough. A lot of the players aren't good enough, but he's not getting the most out of these players. I believe you need a rebuild, and you need one fast. You need a rebuild fast, and you need to bring in a coach who is willing to do this rebuild. We all know, though, Jose Mourinho is a 2 to 3 season guy. He's a 2 to 3 season guy who will stay at clubs for 2 to 3 seasons. He'll bring them trophies over those 2 to 3 seasons, then he'll leave. What has he brought to Tottenham Hotspur? All he's done is downgraded us, in my opinion, put us in the Europa League, knocked us out of that within the 2nd season, and now we're in a Carabao Cup final, which isn't enough, in my opinion.
I just think,
look, if we get top four, right? So I'll hand it straight over to you in a second. But if we get top 4, keep him another season. Keep him another season if we get top 4. We don't get top 4 though, then I believe you have to ask questions. I wouldn't class myself as Jose out. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think he's the right man for the job. I don't think he can get the most out of these players, but I do believe no matter what, you give him till the end of the season. As much as I don't think he's the right man for the job, you can't sack him right now, especially in the latter stages of the season. He doesn't get top 4 though. You give him the boot. Those are my thoughts and opinions on it.
Me personally, as you said there, that he's bringing nothing to the club. I just think he's been let down by the board. He's been let down by the board. I think you don't bring Jose Mourinho, right, and do not offer him money, do not promise him money, and do not promise him like transfers and things like that. They haven't backed him properly. And what goes to say though, Robbie? What goes to say that another manager can come in? Do you tell me like a manager now can come in and get the best out of them players now? You tell me a manager who can come in and get the best of them what Jose Mourinho now?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you need to bring in a manager who's willing to get the most out of him, who's willing to bring a brand.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Which is attacking. And no, I'm saying you need a manager right now who hasn't lost the dressing room. You need a manager to give these players a boost, in my opinion, at the end of the season. And you need a manager who I understand may not be backed fully, but you need a manager who's willing to build a project from 5 to 6 years.
I do personally agree that if Jose goes, Kane gone, Son's gone. Simple as that. Simple as that. And this club will be upside down for about 10, 15 years. Trust me. Absolutely trust me on this. I do believe you can come out with your stats and flipping facts. I don't want to hear none of that. Seriously, I don't want to hear none of that. Just see, we've just got to go to the actual point.
Simon.
Got to get to the actual point, right? That he hasn't been backed properly. I don't care what you say.
How much
right?
backing does he need, though?
But he hasn't been backed
about
with the right guys.
250 million at this rate. He got 200,
he hasn't been
250 at Manchester United over 3 years, and he didn't win.
I'm saying he hasn't been backed at Tottenham. You telling me he's been backed at Tottenham properly? Matt,
no, he hasn't been back properly.
Matt, do you reckon? Matt, do you reckon?
And he's been back.
Do you reckon Jose's been backed?
Let me finish.
Matt, Robbie, no. I've asked Matt. No, Rob, please, Matt.
Yes,
have you personally, honestly, Josie been backed with the correct players that he's been wanted?
No, of course he hasn't. Like, he's probably got two. Probably got two we wanted. Probably got Højbjerg who we wanted. I agree with that. I think he got Reguilon who we wanted. Don't think he wanted Vinicius. Quite clear because he doesn't hardly play.
Bergwijn, he didn't want Bergwijn.
Didn't want Bergwijn. He said that in the documentary.
Yeah.
I actually watched the clip of it today. They didn't even know anything about him. When they asked him,
Doherty, didn't want Doherty.
Yeah, the simple fact is, I don't care what manager you have at the moment. You're not getting the best out of that team because they're not good enough. Now, we need a manager like Mourinho who's going to finally give this ball a kick up the arse it needs and get rid of this bloody crap deadwood out the club. That's what it comes down to, because I guarantee you'll get a new manager in, like whoever Robbie wants, and you'll get a 10-game bounce, and then they'll go, oh, no, I don't like him anymore. He said something that hurts my feelings. They've done it to two managers now. They've done it to the best manager we've ever had and disrespected him massively. And you're telling me that there's no problem here with the players, and it's Mourinho's fault.
I'm not saying it's all
Mourinho. Rob, before you carry on, mate, so go into some comments here.
Yes.
Kane says one thing I don't understand why he's basically insult Toby, and he's your best defender. Yes, that's one thing. That's bizarre. I still can't get my head around that. Danny says, I think the main ones are Kane, Pierre, Regs, Lloris, Son, Roden, Don Bailey, more on Lamella. I think he's on about the ones who's going to back Jose, and Matt on the money there. Kane says, I don't think on Don Bailey likes Jose. I think he likes Jose. Me personally, I think he's got him going. John says, sorry guys, I'm way behind his comments here. It's the players and the manager to blame. Most of the players can't take criticism and throw their toys out the pram when they can't, when they get called out. But Jose thinks he can do no wrong, and now he's lying about the reasons he's dropping players. Simon says, Leavely, get out of Tottenham Hotspur now. Top 943 says the problems are a lot deeper than just Jose Mourinho. There's been a lot wrong with this club for some time. Darth says sacking Jose is not the answer, but keeping is not either. We are too defensive. We score one and try too defensive with level. Well, we're on par. We're second behind Bayern Munich, 100 goals this season. I mean, so I don't know what you're on about there, pal. So shut up shop. This is how Jose has done for years. Exactly. So if we bring in Jose, we have to spend money. He's not even a manager to develop players, and ironically, think Zenit aren't going to spend big anytime soon. Danny says, Premier Hotspur TV Simon, I have to agree with you completely. It's the board is at fault. If Jose goes, Kane and Son go. Lily White Lane, not even Pep can make this team better. Danny says, look at Pep's first season, he was shocking. Danny says he then got the players in wanted and went on to win the league in his second season. Sorry, guys, we're so behind in these comments here. John says, to be fair, he wanted Skriniar and got Roden, who is a player for the future, really. Exactly. This is what I'm trying to say. Prim Hotspur TV and Matt, completely agree with your comments, lads. You are reading my mind. Bob says, guys, honestly, Jose is 18 months into the job. There's one thing he's not been able to give us, and identity, regardless of players. It's a crime not knowing he's starting 11. Bob's I know he's a Jose outer. I don't care what he says Spurs in. He's a Jose outer, Bob's. The players have hid behind Jose, yes, but Jose keeps on hiding behind the players. You're a manager, and manage it. At least give us an identity, man. Well, sorry guys, there's a lot of comments there I've missed completely. Was just rattling on there about the toxicity of the club. And Sissy, as I said there, at the end of the day, I think Jose. Let me just round this toxic in the camp before we go on to player ratings. The toxic in the camp. I just think Jose is literally saying to the board, he's calling them out, mate. He's calling them out. He's just saying, listen, I've got these players are not good enough to play at this football club. I've got weak mentality players. The players has been here for so many years, right? And that's what someone said in the comment there. He wanted a Skriniar. He wanted a top defender. He didn't get it. He didn't get. I don't care what anyone says.
How many good players is Jose going to need to succeed, though? It's almost like you want to back him with. It's almost like you want to back him with Adidas 11 on FIFA.
Tell me, yeah, what good centre backs we've got at this club. Tell me
for one. Toby Alderweireld for one, who's our best centre half, and he's
right.
And best centre half not playing and getting lighter back, getting thrown around
No. That's one. You can't say Dyer, shit. David Sanchez, shit. Rodon, future. You can't say him in a minute, right? We have got Toby, who's 32 years old, right? He's on his last legs at his football club, right? And you're telling me that Jose's been back properly. He's not been back properly. He's defensive. That's what he wanted.
We need a new centre half.
No, it's not what you understand, Rob. It's not what you understand.
He's been back by more than Pochettino.
No. Flipping way. No way. No chance.
No, it really baffles me how you're saying that, because you look at Toby Alderweireld, he's getting lied about. Jose's been here 2 years, like Bobby says. Still doesn't know. You can say about Jose's lying about
his
best 11. He's been here 2 years to work with new talent. New
you
players.
Can say about Jose, right? No. You can say about Jose's lying about the players and things like that, right?
Anywhere.
No.
They're not going anywhere.
I can say the board has lied to Jose Mourinho. Full stop.
How?
He's come in, and he wanted Diaz. He wanted Bruno Fernandes. And who do you fucking get? He got a Jensen Fernandes and he got a fucking Rodon.
He wanted Diaz.
That's what I'm saying.
We could have got
exactly.
Those
so who's that Jose's fault?
And
is
yes,
that
that's
Jose's
down
fault?
to the board. But
is that Jose's fault?
He's been backed more by Pochettino, and all he's done is degraded the club. He's degraded. He's degraded the club with the exact same players, with the exact same players that Pochettino had at the end of his reign, and more players than Pochettino had. He's been here 2 years, and he's been back nearly more than Pochettino was over the 5-year project that he tried to create.
I understand
but you have to look at the manager, and he's constantly hiding behind the players. He's hiding behind the players. He will not take any of the blame himself. He's lying about certain players.
As what these comments, these comments on there, these players are weak mentality. Exactly, weak mentality. Who can't take criticism.
Yes, there's a weak mentality.
They can't take criticism. They are absolutely cowards of throwing Jose Mourinho under the fucking bus, and that's what they're doing. They've done it to Pochettino. They're doing it to fucking Jose now.
Because you look at Jose Mourinho, and all he's doing is degrading the club. We got knocked out. It was only a couple weeks ago we got knocked out and lost by 3-0 to some Croatian farmers. And
Lewis 257 says the problem is ENIC won't spend big money on great defender, and he won't spend big on general on top of horrendous scouting system. It's hard to find a solution. Simon says great debate. Top 943, 100% agree with you, Si. Absolutely top 943. You know where I'm coming from. I mean, Bob says, what system are these players meant to play in, Si. We have no direction of identity, buddy. Jody said, I quote, I'm so happy with the transfers. I could not ask for any more. He's going to say that though, Bobs. He's going to say that. He's not happy. He's not happy whatsoever.
Say that at the beginning and then track
He's
back
not
and
happy.
say same
Absolutely.
manager, different players.
Fact and stat says, I like how Matt is staying quiet, looking at his phone and sipping his drink.
Mate, I'm just letting them get their argument out. I'm just.
Who's this whippersnapper? Bob Sir TV says, what's our starting 11 and style of play, Si? I don't think I can name a proper starting 11, seriously, because we haven't got the quality at this football club.
Yeah, but what's our style of play? No, because we play attacking football. We play attacking football 4 games in a row and it works. Yet Jose's cowered out of playing attacking
but the thing
football
is,
when we stick back to defensive football for 2 big games.
We should have killed off. We should have killed off the game yesterday. There was Lamella who had the ball. We was 3-on-1. He just had to play in Son. He fucked it up.
But he's only coached.
Fucked it up. You can't blame Mourinho for that.
No.
It should have been 3-1 and it would have been game
The only
over.
reason we got 2 goals yesterday was because of some brilliance from Harry Kane.
These guys here want to blame Jose Mourinho for everything. You can't blame Jose Mourinho for these players. These players. So what? So
the
a player.
Players are at fault, right?
So the players
are at fault, but he's degraded the club. He's downgrading us. We're getting worse and
worse. So I work in a
week
fish and chip
after
shop,
week
Robbie,
after
right?
Week, knocked out by Zagreb by 3-0, losing to Arsenal by 2-1, losing in North London derby because we take a negative approach after 4 games in a row when we play attacking football. Cannot understand it.
Right. I work in a fish and chip shop, yeah? Right. I forgot to put someone's ordered fish and chips, yeah? And I forgot to put fish in there. He's only got chips. So who's that? Is that Jose Mourinho's fault or is that my fault?
Your fault.
Exactly. So if someone can't score a goal, yeah, who's 2-3 yards out, is that Jose Mourinho's fault or is that the player's fault?
Yeah, but it's the way.
That's what people say. No. This is what these fans are saying. Fans like you, Robbie, are blaming Jose for every single thing.
It's his stubbornness which is going to come to cost us. It's his stubbornness. Tanganga is not a right back. He's a centre half. Jose's so stubborn in playing him in that right back position that he keeps on making mistakes. And he's so quick. He's so quick to call out these players. So quick to call out these players when he's not willing to take any of the blame himself for their awful performances. And the reason a lot of them are having awful performance is because he's teaching them to defend. Stephen Bergwijn is a pacey right winger who wants to attack. Jose Mourinho's taught him to defend. He's defended well, but his job's to attack, and then he gets criticised for not scoring goals because he is being told to sit back and defend. There's no attacking intent in the coaching. There's no attacking intent in this camp. There's no attacking intent at Tottenham Hotspur, in my opinion. Hence the fact we're not succeeding.
So we're going to get on to the player ratings. I don't know where Matt's gone again.
Simon, I am going to have to head off now before the player ratings, though, mate. But it's been an absolute pleasure coming on. You know,
he's going now. Look, he's going now. Look, he's going now. Look, he's calling everything. He's got to go. Look, you know what I mean? A Josie outer's got to go. Hey, he's a Josie outer. I don't care what you say. You're a Josie outer, and you got your toxic against. You've got an agenda against Jose Mourinho, like the rest of these fan base. You got an agenda against Jose Mourinho.
It's not an agenda.
That's your opinions. That's your opinions, Robbie. At the end of the day, which is great. Everyone can have their debate, and it's been brilliant, Robbie.
Look, it's been an absolute pleasure coming on.
Yeah.
As I say, both of you have been absolutely doing brilliant on this channel. I watch the content, every video you do and live stream. Absolutely killing it. So, guys, please subscribe to Premier Hotspur TV. Just smash it if you haven't already. Get him to 400 already. Shouldn't have taken this long. Just do it right now. Come on, guys.
Yes, Robbie. Nice one, lad. I said, Rob, I mean, you got great opinions. We've got our opinions, which that's what it's about, Robbie. I mean, it's not about everyone's got their own opinions, but I totally agree, mate. Seriously, I'm backing my man in the corner, mate. I'm backing my Jose. And I'll tell you what, mate. Seriously,
their own opinion.
Yeah,
it's the fantastic thing about football. Yeah, how exactly. You know, I can come on here and debate it about you, and it's just been really, really good fun coming on here. Although I have my disagreements here and there with you, it's been an absolute pleasure coming on, though, Simon, and to see you again, Matt, as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah. But as I say, you know, thank you both for coming on. Take care. Nice one, pal. Thank you very much, Robs. Oh dear, Jesus. Hello, Matt. Welcome back to the stream, man. I ain't seen you.
Oh dear, Jesus Christ.
Got a bit
Right.
heated, isn't it?
It's cause, mate. I am speaking fucking the truth, pal. I don't care what these Josie outers are telling me. I'm telling you now.
I am in agreement with you. I think there's a lot bigger problem than just a manager here, anyway.
Yeah. Do you know what is Matt? Right. As what me and you, right? We're not saying Josie. It's not Josie's fault at all. We know it's Josie's fault at all, right? Right. But they got an agenda against Josie. Full stop, mate. That's the thing, mate. Got an agenda, and we've got just a few of these comments read out here, mate. Before we get into the let's go back so far here. But no, sorry about this, mate. Well, this one, that's it. Carlos, handbags, lady, laugh at that. Yeah. Hey, mate, I won't back down. When I know Jose, mate, I won't back down when I'm fighting my point, mate. Facts and stats. It's great to hear both sides of the fans and their counter arguments. Top 943. Yeah, I know, pal. He's okay. Laugh out loud. Bob Spur saying not blaming Jose on everything, matey, but he's no saint or not done stuff wrong, which manager lies about his players to make himself look good. Si, I was talking about that, mate, and we'll talk about that at the end there, Bob's. Facts and stats. Top 943. They're all good lads. 943. Yeah, good debate. That's what it's about. Yusuf says, Matt, use the exercise bike. You like Harry Kane, you might as well train like him. Hey, good, you see. Come on, Matt, you look like Harry Kane there, lad. Top 943s for sure. Bob Spurs, both of you make great points. Love both of your passions, guys. Nice one, Bob. Yusuf says, this Matt, Lily, did you switch Matt's Wi-Fi with yours? And top 943, take it easy, Robbie. Carlos says that Atkins had too much Red Bull. Yeah, he has. Facts and stats. See you soon, Lily White. Lane, aka Robbie. Take care, mate. Yusuf says Lily White doesn't look like he got an agenda. He has, definitely, mate. I don't care what you say, Yusuf. You're a Chelsea man as well. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ, Matt, we've missed something. Simon says, as I said, Leavely is the problem. Yusuf says, oh, Matt and McDonald's. Hey, saw you, Mackie D's there, Matt.
Come on.
Go on, Mackie D's. Top 943, how funny, laugh out loud. Yusuf says, just like Matt said, got a little bit heated in it. Facts and stats says, lads, it's all good. It's passion for our club, and that's what we want on the pitch. Exactly. Facts and stats. Pity the players don't show the same passion yet. Exactly. Darth says, wow, what a crazy weekend of results and same games. Carl says those pesky kids laugh out loud and stuff. So yeah. Thanks for everyone bringing the comments so far, guys. It's been a great crowd in here so far. Just keep on bringing the comments, guys. What's it? So Matt, we'll go on the comments. We've got your player ratings, mate. We'll go on with Hugo Lloris, mate. You gave him a 6, Matt. Why'd you give him a 6, mate?
I don't know. Maybe wanted to give him higher. I thought he actually had quite a good game yesterday. That save he made was the header, wasn't it?
What a save!
Then he got down for the next one, and I couldn't believe it. When I was watching it, I thought it was a goal when it was on the rebound. But yeah, he. I actually thought he played pretty well yesterday. I honestly don't think he's a problem really. I think he's pretty solid at shot stopping. I just think he hasn't got the defence behind him, mate, to be honest. But yeah, I thought he was probably one of our better players yesterday, so I'll give him a solid 6, maybe even a 7.
As you said there, Matt, that was a fantastic save from Gale. What a header. He got up and what a header. Now, what a save. Seriously, and that was literally reactions, mate. Absolutely. Yeah. And to get up and save it again, mate. And seriously. That's the Hugo of old, isn't it? That's what we're
Yeah.
used to. The next one, mate, is Tanganga. You gave him a 3.
I just thought he had a poor game yesterday, mate. I just thought he was all over the place in the defence. You know, I think it was one of Newcastle goals, or they should have scored. He just lost his man. He completely misjumped, and he just looked very uncomfortable yesterday. Obviously, I picked him up most of the season when he's played, but yeah, I was thoroughly disappointed with him yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It wasn't his best game, was it, mate? Even going forward,
Yeah,
he didn't create a lot going forward either. And he's and I will reiterate, I was seeing the first goal for Newcastle again, and it was Davinson Sanchez who actually didn't clear the ball properly back straight to victory, and he got the ball in, and they got the goal in. And Tanganga, I don't know, he just wasn't the same what we saw against City.
City and West Ham, he was
West Ham.
Just ball watching, man. It was terrible.
Yeah, but maybe that's the inexperience of him, mate. He's just a young, he's still learning, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm not getting on his back, mate, because I think he's that's it. Yeah. To this one, the next one, I think he was our best defender yesterday. Joe Roden, mate. Gave him a 5, mate.
Yeah, I think that's the highest score I gave a defender. I thought he was our best defender. You can just tell he sort of loves defending as well. Like he'll sort of throw his body on the line. He wins a lot of headers. He's going to be a good player for the future. Something I think you can build along with like a really good centre back alongside him, like what Diaz is with John Stones or something like that. Or I think that could be. I think he'll be good in the future. But yeah, he stepped up recently, and I really like him. He's a good defender.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Joe Roden, mate. I think he reminds you of John Terry. That's what he reminds me of. He'll throw his body at everything. I think he'll turn into a leader. He's strong and he's quick as well, because he kept up with Amaron, and Amaron's not slow. He's quite a pacey. He's got a pacey forward. And I think yesterday he looked like the senior defender yesterday. He showed Davinson Sanchez how's it done, which he's been at the club for how many years now, Matt? Yeah. Davinson Sanchez, 6 years, something like that.
4, 5, 6 years, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, and he's the one. And I haven't seen no development from Davinson Sanchez, but I've seen development from Roden, who's only been here a handful of games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, he's going to be a star for the future, Roden. Onto his centre back partnership, mate, of Sanchez. You gave him a 2, mate. Back to his duties of being a clown yesterday, mate.
Yeah. I'm sick of it now, mate. I really am. I tried to back him, didn't we? He had a couple of good games, and we said, "Oh, could this be a turn in fortune for him?" And he just throws it away. He makes way too many mistakes. He's not learning. He's getting older each year. If anything, he's regressing as he's getting older, when he should be getting better. Roden's a much better defender than him. He's just not good enough, mate. And it was his fault for the goal as well. What poor clearance! It's just shocking. He's all over the place, mate. I just can't understand how he starts.
Yeah, that is definitely true, mate. Seriously, okay, he had that run. Run about 3 or 4 games, mate, and we thought, wow, because he's playing alongside Toby, and that's the thing. Toby made him look like a world-class defender, because Toby is one of them players is absolutely sensational. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's got the experience, and I believe now it's time now Sanchez gets dropped, and hopefully Roden gets more time now with Toby in there.
Yeah.
But the problem is, mate, is Toby. He can't play game in game. But now we've only got 1 game a week now, Matt. So maybe they can blossom this partnership.
Unless they've fallen out, we don't know what the hell's gone on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely something happened, mate. Absolutely, 100% agree there, mate. We've got a couple of comments there. My God, Jesus Christ, they keep dipping. throwing his comments at us. Sorry about this, Matt.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, this one here we've got about 10. Got 10 to go through. Bob says, why aren't the people backing Jose being called? They've got an agenda against the players. It's because his players they're not playing for Jose, and that's the thing. And Jose's calling it out, Bob's. He's calling it out, and he's making a loud noise to the board.
You know what,
and
for
these
me,
players,
they should have pride for our badge and our club. It's not even the fact that they should be playing for a manager. They should be playing for pride of wearing that shirt. And they always say like they do it for the fans, but what they're doing at the moment, they're just letting us down every week. Or you know, when an important game comes along, you just know disappointment's coming.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
where's the pride from them? It's not an agenda against these players. I've just had enough of them. There's just too many of them that have just worn that shirt for way too long. They don't deserve to wear it. They're not good enough.
Yeah, exactly, Matt. Exactly. Spot on. Simon says this is better than Hollyoaks. Yeah, go on, Simon. Yeah. Switching every day. Tonight could be better than EastEnders, trust me. Darth says, yeah, Spurs really look like they've had their chances to win and deserved it. Just turn it off at the end. Absolutely. That's what's happened, mate. We had our as we said, they had a lot of chances to win the game. You know what I mean? So how's that Jose Mourinho's fault because they can't score a goal? I mean, is that Jose's fault? Of course it's not Jose's flipping fault because they can't score a goal. I mean, I don't care how people say, oh, we set the team up wrong or he's doing this. There's no identity, there's no tactics or there's no pattern of play. It doesn't matter. When the player is in a position to score a goal and he can't finish it, you can't say that's down to Jose Mourinho. That's the player. I mean, it's inconsistency in that player. You know what I mean?
As a team, you've got to pull your socks up for that last 10 minutes and just get stuck in. You know, and there was two players in midfield, like it was Lo Celso and then Dombele that were just walking around, and it you know, they let Richie through, let the header go past, and Willett wasn't being tracked, and that was Lo Celso's man. So you know, it's not good enough.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. John says he made 2 good saves in and out and did okay. The defence let it down again. 7 out of 10 he gave Hugo. Yeah, Matt did say 6 or 7. Brilliant there, John. Simon says it's all about opinions. Yeah, so exactly what it is. Yusuf says Tanganga 3, maybe a 2. Top line for 3. Jose has to take part of the blame. Yes, he took players off that should have stayed on and brought Bale on far too late to make an impact. So Jose isn't perfect himself in longer. We're not saying Jose's perfect. I mean, if people got to understand, me and Matt are not saying Jose's perfect. We're not saying Jose's not at fault for nothing. Of course he's at fault for it. But please, people just literally just throwing Jose under the bus. I've got a genuine against about everything. I mean, and seriously, and some I think some of these fans don't like being called out sometimes. You know what I mean? I think Roden did okay, a 6 for me. I thought Mac D's is American. They say they say it in Britain as well. Yeah, Mackie D's. Yeah, I always know it as Mackie D's. Matt, do you know it as Mackie D's?
Mate, yeah, it's Mackie D's.
Yeah, see, we don't call it McDonald's. It's Max or Mackey's.
Yeah, it's Max or Mackie D's. Yeah,
that's it.
Thoughts on Macca's is a good one.
Thoughts on West Brom, Matt? Yeah, fantastic. Go on the Bromwich.
Well, mate, you know, I think fair play to West Brom. It just shows you what a crazy season this is. Anyone can beat anyone. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea were sloppy on the day. You know, even before the 10 men, they were giving the ball away a lot. They weren't on it at all. But you know, you have to say the quality of goals from West Brom and that Pereira, who I said I want at Spurs if they go down, who would be a good addition. You know, he stepped up. Very, very good performance, and yeah, you know, it might give West Brom the confidence they need.
Absolutely. Cool. Fucking Bromwich. Dietrich's going to say Sanchez won because he did put his kit. Oh dear. Sanchez doesn't deserve a rating on yesterday's performance, a 1 out of 10, and that's generous in my opinion. Rubbish. Matt just being really generous. Yusuf says didn't see the goals for this game. You suggest I do.
Yes.
Yes. Go on, there's some good goals in this game. Bob Spur, buddy, your opinion of me having a gender against Jose is wrong. I'm a Spurs in, and in my opinion, we don't have any form of direction. We shouldn't have one, regardless of players. First step. You have, Bobs. You got a full agenda against Jose. Come on, Bob. Stop hiding behind that, pal. Come on. All that Spurs in and all that, mate. We're all Spurs in. But come on. Fantastic show, matey. Shame we couldn't share different opinions, guys. Love to both. Everyone's got their opinion. Come and say some more, Bobs. Facts and Stats says the worst thing I saw Newcastle's equalise coming way before it happened, and I knew we wouldn't win. I have no belief in this squad after the high expectations I had at the start of the season. Absolutely. I tell you now, when I was doing the watch along yesterday, I saw Will It come on, and I absolutely said, my boy was sitting there, I said to my boy, I said, listen, this guy is going to get the flipping equaliser. I'll tell you now, I probably cursed it, but I'll tell you now, it was written in the stars, Matt. It's just written in the stars. A fucking gooner coming to spoil our top 4 chances, and it flipping happened. Absolutely. And Darth Cloud says, do you think some people were tired from the international break? You can't say that, mate. I think every club has players on international break, mate. Yeah, you can't blame it on international break. And Darth says, do you have fish and chips at your Mackie D's?
Oh no, but if we get that, I think he means that fillet of fish thing. You know, that bird no one ever buys.
Oh yeah, the fillet of fish or the fish fingers. Yeah. And Bob Spur says Bob Spur Jr. calls it McDougal's. Come on, Bob. Go on, Bob Spur Jr. Get over to his channel anyway, guys. Bob Spur, he brings some good content. Go and give us a subscribe, guys. Top 943 say the problems Levy with the ball, they don't back their managers properly. Absolutely. That is the one, and they don't back them properly. Bob Spur TV send me a link then, buddy. Actually, do you know what? I will do. Matt, have you got the link in your Twitter inbox? Can you share that to Bob's or not? Or because I can't do it on my laptop because I'm signed out of my YouTube. I would have saved it into my.
Don't know account. I can copy the message, but
no.
Let me see if I can.
Let me see if I can do it. Well, Bob's, let me see if I can do it, mate, from here. I've copied it. Let me see if I can.
I've done it. I think I've done it.
You think you've done it, yeah? Yeah,
he should have got a message on Twitter. So,
right, Bob's. Matt said he thinks he sent it the link to your Twitter account. So if you, Wayne says, I saw nothing on that pitch from us that said we'll win. Absolutely, Wayne. Wayne, thanks for joining, mate. I've seen you on a lot of channels. Absolutely, you're everywhere. This guy's everywhere, mate. Seriously, absolutely fantastic support for every channel. This dude. Dar says, "Oh, okay, laugh out loud because I know MacD has different menu in different countries." Would like. Oh, does he mean the actual fish and chips, Matt? That's probably. I bet you. That's what they do in that country.
Oh, well, no, don't do that in ours. They definitely don't do that in ours.
No, because he's from California. I think Darth Cloud is. Bob Spur TV says love to both. Great show, lads. Yes, Bob's. Matt said he thinks he's done it. He sent this the link to your Twitter account. So if it is correct, you can sign in, mate. So, guys, keep the comments coming, guys. And Reggie on Matt, you gave him a 3.
Yeah, he was just poor yesterday. He defensively looked a bit suspect. I thought Murphy had him on toast every time down that Newcastle right-hand side. He just skipped past him every time. I don't know if it's since the injury, if he's just dropped his performances. But yeah, obviously with Ben Davies injured now as well, he's going to have to, play it for the next couple of weeks at least. And he's going to. But like you say, it's only one game a week now, so yeah. But he's a good player. He'll come back. But it wasn't his best game.
What do you reckon's gone? What do you reckon's gone on with Regs at the minute?
Not sure, mate. I don't know if maybe he's got Real Madrid in his head, like in terms of going back. Does he think, they'll probably buy me back? I don't want to stay here. If you see what I mean, because it's such a mess. I mean, if you're a player like that, would you stay?
Yeah, that's
potentially not.
That's the problem.
He might be thinking, is Jose going to be manager here next year? And then if not, what happens if the manager who comes in doesn't like me? It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, absolutely. I do totally agree with that, mate. Absolutely. And with Regs being a 3, I totally agree with Matt there. 3 yesterday. It wasn't his best game. He was getting roasted, mate. Murphy had him on toast.
Honestly, mate.
Absolutely toast, mate. Seriously, he got past him with breeze, mate. With breeze yesterday.
Yeah.
And I have questioned his defensive side of his game, because we know he's great going forward. We know he's great assistant. He's got a fantastic cross in him. But lately, his defensive duties
not good enough.
It's not been great. No, it's not been good enough for me. Top 9 for free. Say it's always a great show. That's why I'm loyal. Thanks. Nice one. Top 9 for free. Dar says, I hope you guys do a rating for end of the season for each player. Yeah, definitely. Don't you worry about that, mate. We'll definitely have that. Wayne says our defense was weak yesterday because Roden kept going across the cover for Sanchez. Absolutely, Wayne. Absolutely. He's doing two jobs at once, mate. Absolutely. And Facts and Stats says, could Regnum be affected by Bale? Just a thought. You have a point there, mate. It could be anything at the minute with Regs. And that's good. That's quite a good point there.
He's tired. He's had a few injuries, and
I totally agree. Yeah. We go on to Pierre. You gave him a 7, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was good yesterday. I thought the amount of times he sort of screens the back 4, like the amount of times he got the ball back and had to win it back, and then he played quite incisive passes into the middle of midfield, and then we went forward. I think for Kane's second goal, Højbjerg had won the ball, got it into Ndombele, and then he played a brilliant pass that set Kane free. I thought Pierre didn't really do much wrong yesterday. He's near enough a 7 out of 10, isn't he? Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
He's about the club as well, so we love Pierre. Yeah,
exactly. We do love Pierre at this football club, and it's a shame. I said, Matt, and as you said, it's a shame people like him, mate. We haven't got more players like him. Actually, he fights for the badge, for every single ball, for every single tackle. He does not give up from minute 1 to minute 90. Okay, he has had these off days when we have called him out, Matt. If you go back on a couple of our videos, guys, we call everyone out. If they have a bad game, we call them out. But Pierre's such a great player, mate. It's a shame. Tungi, you gave him a 7, mate.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he got that wonderful assist. I mean, it was a hell of a pass into Kane, wasn't it, for that second goal?
Yeah.
And he did look good on the ball. I just have to question his defensive capabilities in terms of tracking back. So maybe in that sense, it could have been a 6. I think maybe he's getting tired. Maybe he's getting a bit lazy again. it's a hard one for Tungi. He's so young. What is he, 22 now? So, it's only his second season in the Premier League properly. I'm sure the best for him is yet to come, but I think we need another sort of central defensive midfielder alongside Højbjerg, and then you can unleash Ndombele and your likes of Lo Celso and let them play in their more natural position.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with Tungi yesterday, he looked tired about the 60th minutes on that 65th minute. And with Tottenham being 2-1 up, I know what I've done. I know exactly what I would have done. I would have took off Tungi and I would have bring on Sissoko just to shore it up in there. Because the guy, you know what Sissoko can do, mate. He's not the gifted of footballers, but he'll run all day for you. He's good at going from box to box, and he's a powerhouse in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that could have been a difference for us winning that game yesterday.
I agree with you. I think he should have put someone extra in midfield just to help him out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Because Pierre, I think, he was working his socks off yesterday because of the tight seat. Yeah, he was on his own. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But he didn't. Dar says when they said the start for how many games Højbjerg has played, I was blown away. For that, when Højbjerg was blown away. Yeah, absolutely. There he is. There he is. There he is. Bobby V's in here.
Mate, I couldn't work out if it was player ratings or a commercial for McDonald's. Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
You guys all right?
Crazy, isn't it?
Not
yeah,
bad.
good, mate. Good, mate.
Good.
You, Bobs.
Yeah, just getting on. I had a few things going on a couple of days, but yeah, it's all sorted. It's all sorted. I think that's sporting Tottenham. That's what it does to you, doesn't it?
That's exactly what he does, Bob.
It is what it is, mate. Yeah.
District Kane says, I don't agree with 7 Pierre. He's looking shaky. I think he was great yesterday. Me personally, he had
do like 3 different jobs. I mean, he's literally on his own in midfield. Like, what do you want him to do? I think he does a pretty good job considering he's on his own.
Yeah.
One person you could rely on, can't you?
Yeah,
exactly. Vinod, sorry guys. Enough is enough. If we continue like this and don't adapt, then I might be Josie out. Come on, you can't be a flip flop. And you're either Josie and you Josie out. Come on. Rex Kane says, I love Højbjerg, but honestly, think we need something better. He's one-on-one and isn't good. I think we should get a Basuma, someone you can't beat one-on-one and is everywhere on the pitch. I think Pierre's perfect at defending a one-on-one. I think.
The amount of times it takes the ball off the opposition going one-on-one with them. Yeah,
do you know what though? I do rate Basuma. I think he'd be good.
Basuma's a good player.
Yeah. I'd play him alongside him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%, exactly. So we go back into the ratings, guys. Lo Celso, Matt, you gave him a 6, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if to feel sorry for him or not because obviously he's been out. He was out for over 22 games. He got, he had stop-start game. And then he had this international break. Did he play for Argentina? I don't know if he got selected, to be honest. So, I think with a player like him, I don't think a break really did him any good. He sort of needed to get more game time into his legs, Yeah, but he was pretty shaky, wasn't he? There was glimpses of stuff he could do. He obviously threaded the ball through for Kane's first goal. Obviously, we got a bit lucky with that, but his creativeness is in there. But you have to question his defensive ability for the equaliser. It's his man, Willock, in the box, and and he switched off. And That's the only thing I'd say about him. And I think he looked tired as well after a while. But hopefully if he gets fit, and we know the sort of player he can be. I just do question his sort of fitness and if he can stay fit for a long period. I don't know if it reminds me of sort of an Eric Lamela situation with the amount of injuries he's had already since he's joined the club.
Yeah, absolutely spot on there, Matt. The only thing with Lascelles, I think, is that I think he's got 8 big games now to the end of the season, and that probably could sum up if he's going to be in the plans for next season, because they may look for something else, because since he's at the back of the last season, I think he was probably one of our best players, but he hasn't kicked on. Okay, you could say with the injuries, he's been out, as I said, 22 games. You said there, Matt. But I'm still waiting for this player to kick in. I'm still waiting for this player that we saw at Betis. I mean, there is a player in him. There is definitely a player in Lascelles. So, and it's hard. Where do you play him? And this is the position. Are we playing him in the correct position? This is the problem. Bob's Matt gave him a 6. Do you agree with that, mate?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Like Matt says, it's a process at the moment. He just needs to get back to a bit of full fitness. And to be fair, I think we've seen him getting better since the Villa game, isn't it? I think the more games he plays, the better he can get. Because like you say, Matt, there's a player in there. And a couple of passes that he did yesterday, you couldn't see anybody else do. So yeah, the fitter he gets, the good thing is he's got the right portions of game, plenty rest time, and then another game rest.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
it's the only 2 games a week we've got cup final. So yeah, I think the more he plays, the better he can get. I've got confidence. He's 23
absolutely.
as well. We've got to remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I can see what you're saying yesterday. That ball, I think that ball when he sprayed over to Reguilon, what a ball that was! Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there is things like that he can do. You know what I mean? So we know exactly he can do it. It's a bit consistency with him now, isn't it? We need him to kick on. Carlos Vinicius, Matt, you gave him a 5.
Yeah, it just wasn't the game for him, was it? Really. We started reasonably well, but he wasn't really getting on the ball. He wasn't really holding it up that well. Maybe it just wasn't the game for him yesterday. Newcastle play quite a, I suppose, sort of drop deep type football, and they defend well. And Lascelles is a very bullyish type centre back, and I do like him as a defender. I just think it wasn't really the game for him. But I do like Vinicius, and I'm sure he'll get a few more chances during the season. Yeah,
with Carlos, I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now, Matt, and we keep banging this drum about Carlos. If you're going to play Carlos in the team, you've got to play wingers down the flanks and get the ball in the box, and that's what Carlos is. Carlos is a box. He's a box man. He's not like a Kane. He'll come and drop deep to receive the ball. He's literally a proper target man, isn't it? Proper guy who just sits in the box, wait for a cross, and
it's weird though, isn't it? Because in that second half, we were crossing it quite a lot. There was a few crosses where Reguilon put some wonderful balls in at the back stick, and you're just thinking, would Carlos have maybe been there to, he would have run in, he would be in the box, wouldn't he? So that was the only thing. Like you say, he needs to play to his strengths.
Yeah, exactly. Bob's a 5 for Carlos.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. I don't think we had the right formation for him to play against Newcastle. Like Matt says, they were playing low. Whereas with Villa, at least they were pressing up a bit, so he had that space behind. He had no space whatsoever yesterday, so the game just wasn't suited to him. And with Kane dropping deep as well, if he did win the odd ball, there was no one around him as well, because Kane was getting deep a lot yesterday. So, unfortunately for him, it just wasn't like that just game for him. It's 3-2, by the way, guys, to West Ham.
I know. I've seen it.
It's an identical goal to Kane, isn't it? That one. So, Wolves owe us one. So we've taken Doherty off They fucking owe us one. All right, they need to do it for that.
Oh dear. Yeah. So there's a couple of comments here, guys. Before we go on to the next one. Top 943 say, I wish better, Bobby. I wish you better, Bob's pal.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you, mate.
Das says, why on earth is Dyer still on the England squad? That's just beyond me, mate. I tell you now.
No one knows. Regardless of your opinions, no one knows the answer to that one.
Jets Kane says, do you guys think we should go back to a 3-4-3 with Roden, Toby, and Tanganga at the back? Well, it's definitely an option, but would Josie play that way? I think Josie will play that way.
I don't think he'd play that way. I don't think our defence is good enough to play 3 at the back, to be honest.
John says Vinicius 4 out of 10 for me. Didn't really offer as much up front. Yeah, just as what Bob says, this wasn't the game for him yesterday, was it? And Simon says, see you later. Yes, come on, you Spurs. Come on, Si. He's saying 3-2 to Wolves. Dar says, well, how did Wolves get 2 goals and West Ham failed to score in the second half? It's still playing though, mate. And the Hammers were crushing in it from the first minute. Everything football, do you think Mourinho's tactics are outdated? We'll go back on that one in a minute, mate. Yusuf says 3-2, yes. I got fiery. It got fiery, and hello, Bob.
Yes, Yusuf.
And Yusuf says, and Eunice, yes, Eunice, come on, Atletico Madrid.
Always late. Always late.
Always late, isn't it? He's late again. But rate the manager. Jose's done. Oh, he's a Jose out, definitely, this guy. So he's definitely going to. Yusuf says, Arsenal again for West Ham. We'll go back to the comments, guys. Harry Kane. Matt, you gave him an 8.
Oh, mate, come on. What a player. You know, he's for me, he's the best striker in the world. Maybe that's me being biased. I don't know. He's between him and Lewandowski for me. But, I mean, what more can the bloke do? Scores 2 goals, very close to getting a hat-trick, hitting the post. That was unlucky.
Yeah.
He just breathes Tottenham, doesn't he? You know, he was there for set pieces. I sort of wish he'd maybe take himself away from the free kicks now, because he's just keeps hitting the wall. It's kind of like someone else maybe have a go. You know, it's almost getting a bit too greedy, and he obviously hasn't ever scored a free kick. Well, actually, he scored against Villa, didn't he? But it was deflected.
Yeah, deflected one.
But since then, he hasn't really scored one. So, that's the only thing I'd say. Maybe give someone else the
He really hits the target as well, Matt. He really hits the target as well.
He always hits the wall, doesn't he? Yeah.
He always hit that wall. Yeah, I totally agree.
I'd like to see maybe Lascelles serve his left foot, maybe try and whip a couple around the wall. You know, just try and
regular.
He didn't really do much wrong yesterday. You know, he deserved to be on the winning team, didn't he? Really, you know.
Yeah.
Probably thinking 2-1 up. I was thinking, you know, we're doing quite well here. As soon as he hit the post, I was like, oh no. But good, very good performance yesterday, I thought, and you know, his goal record now, top scorer in the Premier League, most assists. It's crazy, his stats, but yeah, I mean, if it carries on like this, I mean, maybe we will lose him. I don't know.
Yeah, nice one for that, Matt. So Matt gave him an 8. Bobs, do you agree with Matt?
Spot on, mate. He's too good for us. Let's look at it. You know, let's be honest. He's too good. We're suddenly becoming a one-man team again. Whereas at the beginning of the season, at least we had a few players chipping in, our son most notably. But mate, he's too good for us, and we just need to match his ambitions as well. We just need to match his ambitions. And let's be honest, at the end of the season, he goes, sorry, I'm leaving. I need to pursue my career elsewhere. What backup can we give to him? What can we say to him that don't have trust in this board, Harry? Can we say that?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, we can't. We'd have to see him off with open arms and give our best wishes to him.
exactly what I was trying to say earlier, Bobs. Where I'm not literally blaming it all on the board 100%. You know what I mean? Because we can't actually do that. Do you know what I mean? You've got to take the fair. Everyone's got to take the fair share of the crack. But
Of course I do.
with the board, mate, just what's the chances? As you said there, he goes up to the board. Right, I want you to match our ambitions, and as you said, Bobs, do you trust them? No, you don't. Because do you trust like them now, Sack and Joe's there? That's what I'm trying to get across. Bringing in a manager and another manager, thinking, things like that, rosy, how do we know it's gonna be a success under this board?
We don't.
Nothing's gonna work under this board. No.
If you read any of my messages, Si, not once have I said Jose out. I've not said. All I've said.
I'll just wind you up, George.
No. All I've said, and in any of my, I've always said, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt till the end of the season. And even now, when I've sent you these, all I'm pointing out is, in my eyes, what he's fucked up on, what he's got wrong, in my opinion. Yeah. Regardless of the board, board's a whole bigger picture. They're not going in. We've agreed this. The board, unfortunately, are going in. So we're stuck with them. The next in line are the players and Jose, and we've agreed. We've got some shit players, the likes of Winks, Dele Alli, Dyer, Doherty, these, and other players we need to get rid of. But for me, the least what Jose should have done by now is given us an identity. So at least we can relate to it. At least we can say Jose likes because even now we were talking about 3-4-3, and we're all still discussing or saying, I don't think he'll do that. And that wouldn't even be a question if we had an identity. If we knew his sole team is X, Y, and Z, and his identity is playing attacking football in the 4-3-3, then at least we can see what kind of players we'd want to go out and get. Defenders is a no-brainer, of course we defend, but we're 18 months in and we can't even say we need. This is Jose's team. This is how he sets out. This is exactly how he sets out in everything. He's not even managed to get an identity. I agree. I totally agree that we haven't got the players who might fit that system. But at least have a backup to the board to say, right, I play this system. This is how I play, and these are players going to fit into that system. Because right now he's just going to be saying, I need this good player, this good player. Okay, so where are they going to play into how are they going to fit into the identity and the system? Because right now we don't have one, and that's what Jose's got wrong. Players have got wrong their attitude. You're right, Matt. They should be playing for the badge. Unfortunately, matey, it doesn't happen nowadays, does it? If it was a case, then we wouldn't ever have a bad player. It's all about a mentality. We need to get the right mentality of the player.
Yeah.
Højbjerg's only been here a few months. He's playing for the badge more than some of the kids, i.e. Winks, who's come through the academy system.
Yeah.
Winks should be telling to Højbjerg, this is what it means to play for Tottenham. This is what it means to play for the badge. Instead, Højbjerg's turning around to Winks and saying, what the fuck are you doing? Well, look at me. Winks is having to look at a guy who's only been here, 8 or so months. Look at him thinking, wow, I need to play with that kind of passion. The mentality is all wrong. You can get the best player in the world in, but if the mentality doesn't match the managers or the club's identity, it will never work. So yeah, the board are at fault, players are at fault, and Jose is not getting away with it. And that's my opinion. That is my opinion. I agree with everything what you've said, Si, but I think it's not wrong, but I think the people who are thoroughly Jose out, I think you can see sometimes if there's an agenda. The people who I believe have an agenda against Jose will come on and say, I wish we lose the cup final and I wish we finished 9th because we can get rid of it. They're not Tottenham fans. They're the ones with the agenda. The people who are passionate, like Robbie, like yourself, like Matt, who want Spurs to do well, and I've always said I want Jose to go down as best manager ever in history, because it means I'll be wrong. It'll prove my doubts completely wrong. I want to be proved wrong, but all I can go by right now is my opinion of someone who's supported Tottenham for 35 plus years. He's looking at a club. This is wrong. The players are wrong because of this fuck up. Board are wrong because of this fuck up, and Jose's wrong because of this. And that's all I'm doing, and that's what I've always done. I'm consistent throughout ever. But again, I know where you're coming from, Si, and you, Matt, because in your eyes, and if I was looking from your point of view, I totally agree with you. Totally, 100%.
Yeah, it's
100%.
just Bob's. It's just. I think there's we've got too many players at this club, Bob's.
Of course.
As what me and Matt were saying earlier, we were saying who can't take criticism. And that's the. I think that's probably one of the biggest problems at this club, mate. There's this sort of player who's been here for so long, who has got their feet under the carpet, mate. They've been here like 6-7 years, mate, and thinking they're used to one way. They're used to one way. And when Josie try to bring in his ideas, bring his ways, they throw their dummies at the pram because they don't like it. I mean, they don't like criticism. And I think this is I think this is what we got as well, mate. I think it's a mix up of these sort of players who don't want to play. It doesn't matter if you don't want to play for Jody. Go out there and play for Tottenham. Play for that club. Play for that badge and that. Oh, you can go for that. Play for that badge and that shirt. And this is the problem. Right?
That's right. That's right to an extent. But you know, Jose will have to have some input. Otherwise, you'll have chairman saving loads of money and saving money on recruiting managers. You know, you got managers saying, chairman saying, "Here you go, Mr. Player. Here's a badge. Play for that. You don't need a badge." So Jose have to have some input, and that's the reason why we go out and look for a manager. That's why the manager gets blamed, and that's why the manager gets accolades as well. We know how important the manager is, but you're spot on. There are players out in that team who go out and not worry about how they play because they know they've still got that 80, 90, 100k going into their bank at the end of the week, and that's the players that we need to get rid of. Unfortunately, there's a high number of those, and we're not going to get rid of them in one go. And that's where Jose's got to prove his mettle. You know, he might be stuck with a few of those going into next season, mate, because we're not going to sell 8 players and bring in 8 players. You know, it might be a case of moving on 3 players and bringing in 2. And Jose's going to have to work with that. But
maybe, Bob's, just going into the end of the season now, just literally just chuck all these players, the ones who don't want to play for Jose, the ones who don't want to think, right, you're in the under 18s, I'm going to bring in the youth players now, the players like the Scarlets and the Vines, who actually want to come play for Tottenham. You know what I mean? I'm bringing them in till the end of the season.
Right.
And I mean, and that's what he should do. And John says, I agree with Matt. Get Kane off free kicks, but otherwise, class performance dragged us back into it. Yusuf says, non-top fan, but I still think more should stay. You're a Chelsea fan, that's why. Best striker in the world, maybe, but defo in the English Premier League. Dar says, I think Harry Kane really is impressive. If Spurs don't get a European slot, I could see him leaving. No. Eunice says, Kane deserves better than us. We don't deserve him. Such a phenomenal player. Dar says, yes, he's coaching seems like Lampard's at Chelsea to me. I don't know. It's a bit suspect, that one. Son, Matt, you gave him a 6.
Yeah, mate. You just looked non-existent when he sort of came on. I mean, didn't really get the ball to him, to be honest, but it's quite clear to see that he didn't start, so he's obviously not fully fit yet. Kind of glad he didn't start because I didn't want to rush him back and, you know, you re-aggravate the injury that he's just had. I think for him, he just needs a goal. Really needs a goal. There was that chance he had, wasn't it, where he could have took a touch and hit it, but he tried to slide it to Kane, and I was thinking, well, I mean, yeah, fair play for not being selfish, but you know, if you would have got a touch and just put that away, you know, it's So yeah, I don't know in his head if he's just thinking, I don't want to be too greedy, you know, in case I get dropped for certain reasons and something like that. But I'm sure he'll come good. Hopefully against Man United, he, you know, has a good game and pops up. I reckon he'll start probably against them.
Absolutely, Matt. Do you know what? Right, it makes me laugh. Right, let's go back to Robbie earlier when he was absolutely saying to Bale. Right, when I said to him, no, he didn't have 10 minutes. He had 4 minutes or 5 minutes, and he said, oh, he should have made an impact in that time. Oh, hang on. How about Son then? Why not everyone's bouncing on Son's back? He had 45 minutes. Why couldn't he not come in and change the game yesterday? You know what I mean? This is what I'm trying to say, Bobs. You know what I mean? There is fans that they've got things. I wouldn't say it's got a grudge against certain people at this club. You know what I mean?
No.
And what I'm trying to say to Robbie, how can you expect someone like Gareth Bale? I know he's come with a big hefty wage we're paying for him, like to change a game in 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Come on.
do that. Yeah.
He's not going to do that, mate, is he? Do you know what I mean? So, to me, if you're going to say that, you can say about Son. Why didn't he change the game? He had 45 minutes. You know what I mean? So, to me...
All three of us has talked about this at length, and I know me and Matt touched on it a few times. He's not looked right since that contract to one side, has he?
Yeah.
Sonny.
Exactly.
He's talked about it a few times. Us three, I know us three for a fact. I've spoken about it a few times. He's just not looked right, and I think it's constantly playing mind. And the injury wasn't a big one. Jose's probably seen he's mentally not there. But yeah, mate, it's looking more and more, like you say, Si. It doesn't take that long to sign a contract. It looks more and more like he's going to be leaving, which in a roundabout way is good news that Harry ain't going to go as well. With regards to Bale, mate, again, a personal opinion. I'll give credit where it's due, and I can't blame anything on Bale. Yesterday, with 2 minutes, what he expects to do. So there's no part of it. On a personal note, he's not justified his wages. He's had four good games all season. Yeah, injury and all that. Okay, and then coupled with what he said, no matter how it's just my opinion. And for me, I reckon he can spend his wages on a couple of defenders. That's the way I see it. We can manage without Bale. We can't manage without not having 2 good defenders. In my eyes, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, Bobs. So Son, he got a 6. I don't think he was. I don't think he was on the game yesterday. Lamella, Matt, you gave him a 5.
Yeah, there was glimpses, but I just can't forgive him for that. He just had to play Son through on that 2-on-1, and he fucked up the pass, didn't he, or held on to it too long. So but I suppose he brings a lot of energy into the midfield. You know, he's trying, but there are things that frustrate you, like that pass. You know, I saw a picture of it again today, and he's 2-on-1. All he has to do is just put it round. Son's in. I'm pretty sure Son would score most of the time anyway. So that was the disappointing thing for me. But he's been decent enough for us recently the last couple of weeks. And I don't think he's necessarily a massive problem in the club. I think there's a lot more deeper problems than him that we need to get rid of. But it was disappointing yesterday that when he buggered up the pass and certain situations where he can do better, but he holds on to it too long. Yeah,
absolutely, Matt. Lamella, you know what I like, and you know what I think about this guy. Seriously, he's been 8 years now. This guy ain't done nothing. Absolutely nothing. You tell me what's he done? He's below 20 goals in 8 years. He runs around in a circle, full of passion. Yes, full of passion. Yeah, he'll run around for you, but there's no quality in him, mate. There's no ability like scoring goals or creative goals in a consistent basis. Okay, he'll probably come up on a run, but as you said it, I think Bob's he's living on the Rabonas. That's what he's that's what he's living off. Oh, look what I've done! I've done another Rabona. Who gives a fuck? You don't do it consistent enough for us. But I mean, so to me personally, mate, Eni's gone into the summer. To me personally, Bob,
you're probably in my boat then, Si, because for me, he's in the same net of people I want to get rid of as Winks, Doherty, and Dyer. He's one of the first players. And when I heard that there's some Italian clubs ready to offer 15, 20 million for him, get him out.
Yes,
for
exactly.
Me, he is the most overrated player, in my opinion, and your opinion. I can safely say I'm speaking for both of us.
Yeah.
He runs around after a ball, mate. My dog does that, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. But at least my dog's got the accuracy of bringing the ball back to me. There's nothing about it, mate. I can't. In the 8 years he's been here, I can't remember a game-changing performance, a game-changing goal, a game-changing decisive pass. It's a fact. He's not made a decisive pass, a pass that counts with his right foot in 8 years. Fact.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I'm telling you, it's a fucking joke.
It's like if a right-footed had never made an assist or a decisive pass for 8 years with his left foot, we'd be crashing. We'd be like, what the fuck's that about? But he's not. It's not like he's creating 10, 15 chances a year with his left foot. He's not created a single decisive pass, not an assist, a decisive pass going forward with his right foot in 8 years, mate.
Shocking.
He's got some voodoo magic. He's got some voodoo magic going on over our managers because they keep picking. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And all due respect, Matt, I would have given him -5.
Oh.
Oh, dude.
But I think there's a bit of a personal thing for me inside that one. So,
and John says, do you guys think the board have already decided to get rid of Josie in the summer? Well, quickly before we head off at the end there, guys, we'll just quickly touch on that, and we'll finish on that. Das says, I think Lamella missed that opportunity to pass it to Son. There you go, Matt. And to win it on the breakaway. And Yusuf says, got to go by SMB. Bye, Yusuf. Thanks for tuning in, mate. John says Son was a bit off the pace before he got injured. Yes, exactly. Yeah, for about 7-8 games before he got injured. Yeah. Wayne Bale isn't necessary for next season. We've had Sesson back. I think we should keep him out on loan, me personally, for next season as well. Either bring someone in or promote someone into that position. Focus needs on the centre backs. Absolutely, Wayne. Absolutely, centre backs is needed. 100% priority in the summer.
Matt, if it came to you, matey, and you had a chance between getting a young up and coming centre back who's going to cost us, I don't know, 60 million. Say 60 million.
Yeah.
But we had no money left, but we could have the money by exterminating, finishing, or getting rid of Bale. Would you rather? And we've already got a centre back in, yeah. So would you rather get that second defender from the money that we're going to save on Bale, or would you still keep Bale?
I don't think we need Bale personally.
No, I think we could do without it.
I think we're
not that reliant on him, have we?
We seriously need a centre back. So I'd have to go with the defender.
100%.
But rather than a young centre back, I want someone maybe who's in like their 24, 25, someone like a Lewis Dunk or something like that, who would go straight in the team.
Skriniar's as well.
That's what I'd like to see. But yeah, no, I think Bale will go back. I believe anyway. And I don't think Spurs will.
I think he should. For our budgeting purposes, I think he should as well.
Yeah, because like you say, we could afford a couple of players with those wages, you know. So yeah, I'd potentially rather do that. Obviously, it's been great to see him back, but yeah, the fairy tale's done. Maybe score a winner in the cup final, and you can go out with your head held high. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. John says Lamella tries, but I would have brought Bale on instead at that point.
Yeah, spot on.
Lamella doesn't want to go. How long does his contract? It runs out next year, 2022. Lamella, yeah. So he can run it down as much as he wants. Paul says Matt McDonald's. McDonald's. There you go, Matt. He's got a second. He's got a second round here. In the turn 17 says Region was awful yesterday. His final third ball was terrible. I think he put in a couple of good crosses yesterday, though. In the turn,
there was some really good balls in.
There's no one actually to attack him. Yeah, I don't think we should blame Enoch for our crap performance. I'm not blaming Enoch for crap performance there in the Turnish. And Wayne, I'll get the second defender all day long. Absolutely, yeah. And top 9 for 3, send Bale back. Not needed. In turn 17, S. I don't know what he's meant to be saying there. We'll go back in. Bale, Matt, game of 5.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really give him like a.
No.
Hard to give him a kind of decent score or even
4
like
minutes.
a low
4
score.
5 minutes.
He was on for like 5 minutes. Like, what can he do? Obviously, the free kick, I thought, oh, I fancy him with this. And then he goes and balloons it over the bar. Worst free kick ever. But yeah, no, there's not much to say, really. I mean, you got 4 minutes to get into the game. I don't care what player you are. You're going to need at least 10.
Yeah, minimum, isn't it? Minimum,
Any player coming off the bench who's got, of any ability, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do something magical within like a minute. I mean, it's very rare it happens. So maybe he should have been brought on a bit earlier, but obviously Mourinho thought he didn't trust him necessarily to be defensive enough because obviously we were winning at that point. So I think that's what that was part of it. But
West Ham have won.
Yeah,
West Ham
one of the. At least Everton drew though, so,
Yeah, Everton drew. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can't give Bale a really low score or a really high score. I think 5's a pretty good score because there's nothing he could do.
No,
it was 3 or 4 minutes and it was over. So yeah, there's not too much to say about Bale, mate. But yeah, the only thing I would say is been great to have him back. I sort of wish maybe he got to see the fans before he goes in the stadium. That's my only wish.
Well, might do in the cup final. We've got 8,000 fans going, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, potentially, but I can't see him playing, mate. Can you?
Yeah, no.
But yeah, no, it's been great to see him. But yeah, it's time to go back to Madrid. I think at the end of the season, and we rebuild from there.
Yeah, nice one, Matt. So Bob's Matt game of 5. Any higher, lower?
No, I think that's just about right, mate. I can't. I wouldn't have even. Yeah, I think it's hard to mark players don't play 5 minutes. So we're going straight down the middle of 5 spot on with Matt.
Yeah. And I Matt didn't mark Mourinho. I marked Mourinho. I gave him a 5. Matt, do you agree?
Is it out of 10? Yeah.
Yeah. Top 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I probably would agree with you. I mean, I don't think any of us were moaning too much at the team. But like I said, maybe Sanchez in there because it was, I'm glad he kept it because it was the team that beat Aston Villa. But yeah, I think he's trying a few different things. He's trying to bring a few players, who we called to come in, Tanganga, Roden. But yeah, I think his substitutions were all wrong. The timing of them. Maybe certain tactics, but it's hard to know. I mean, I think these players just don't listen or don't want to listen to whatever he's trying to say, which is not it's not good, is it?
No.
But yeah, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great, and I think he was annoyed. I think the way he handled himself after the game wasn't great. He called out he didn't call out players, but he called out obviously pretty much the whole team.
Yeah.
And then there's lots of sort of rumours, isn't there, that the Spurs dressing room, a lot of them aren't happy with what he did in the interview, and a lot of the battle with the Toby thing where he said he was late from international duty when that was basically a lie.
Yeah.
Apparently he arrived on time as much as everyone else. So something's happened there, so it's another player he's fallen out with, which is not good.
No, absolutely, Matt. Nice one for your comments there, mate. Bobs, do you agree with Matt there? Mourinho, Mourinho 5.
Yeah. He got the substitutes completely wrong. Our biggest strengths in the last few games have been Harry Kane and Lucas Moura. Son's been off the pace on the right-hand side. Bale's not performed. Bergwijn questions. Lamella's in and out. Our strongest 2 positions have been number 10 in Lucas and Harry Kane doing his bit. And unfortunately, with him starting Vinny up front and and Lucas spending most of the game out on the left because Kane was coming so deep at all times. We went away from our two strongest positions, so he got that wrong, unfortunately. But it's all hindsight, Manager never goes out to pick a players or a system to lose. Hindsight is right, but he has got the ability to change it. And like Matt says, the substitutions were wrong. Me not bringing Lamela on is a personal opinion, and so I'll probably share that. In his eyes, he sees him Monday to Friday, the training pitch. But in my eyes, there's no way Lamela will come on, and I cannot forgive that pass. I cannot forgive that lack of pass.
Yeah.
Even at the end, guys, it was passing the back, trying to pass back to the defenders.
You had didn't he have a volley in the side netting as well?
With his right foot.
From there, why wasn't he crossing that?
Yeah, and it went on his right foot. He never does anything with his right foot. Did you hear that stat I told Sire when he went on?
He's never done a successful in terms of decisive pass with his right foot.
In 8 years.
Fucking joke.
Mate, Bob Spur Jr. gave me a decisive pass when he was 8 months old.
Oh dear, Jesus Christ!
Don't get me started on Lamela.
Yeah, I just think, I said Mourinho yesterday. I said the subs, I think he got wrong. I totally agree with that, guys. We've not bring them onto. I said I would have bring on Bale instead of Lamela. Someone can actually change. Someone can actually change the game. I mean,
I definitely would have taken Mora off because I thought he's your energy, and you put him in the 10, he buzzes around, he tracks back, he works hard. I just can't believe he went off before even Lo Celso. Lo Celso didn't come off, did he?
100%.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
maybe a 3 then.
Maybe a 3. Maybe we can downgrade it to a 3.
Would you guys agree? Would you guys agree with me that yesterday's draw felt just as bad, nearly just as bad as the defeat against Arsenal?
Oh, mate, I can probably agree with that.
Agree with that.
Yeah, because
it leaves that same
sour taste in your mouth. Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's the fact that it's such a poor Newcastle team, and they've taken points off us at home and away now as well. And they're actually not. They're shocking. Honestly, they're not good. They didn't have They didn't have Callum Wilson yesterday. They had St Maximin who came on for about 10 minutes, and they're just not that good.
But you know what? It wasn't that.
Joe Linton, brilliant.
His record, You heard about his record?
Worst striker in the league. Of course, he scores against us twice.
No, but have you heard his record? Yeah, he scored 4 goals.
Two in 4 games against us,
and he scored two of those against Tottenham.
I think it wasn't just because Newcastle are bad at the minute. It just felt terrible because an Arsenal player got the equaliser. Yeah, and I saw it coming. I saw it coming. As soon as he come on, I said, "This guy is going to get the equaliser." It written in the stars yesterday. It literally written in the different stars. So we've got a couple of things here, guys. Got Paul said perception is a mad thing, really. At the start of the weekend, if Chelsea had won and we had won, we probably would have been happy. However, we gained a point on Chelsea, and we're not happy. Yeah, it's because we could have was 4 minutes away from a victory. I mean, Paul. And John says, I think he looks like he's had enough in his press conference, Jose. And Wayne says Jose brings on the same subs. There's no surprise element there. He's got his favourites, Wayne, and I think he's always had his favourites, Jose, every club he goes to. And there's this one thing before we wrap it up, guys, is this one. Can we get the top 4 still, guys? Anyone want to just answer that quickly? We have a comment from each of us.
I'm gonna say no. I don't think we deserve it. I don't think we're good enough. We don't play as a team. I mean, I look at West Ham. they're miles ahead of us at the moment. They play like a team. You know,
Only 3 points ahead.
yeah, yeah, points
Yeah.
ahead. You know, there was people who I came out and said Lingard's a good player and that's a great loan deal for West Ham, and I got laughed at, and people said Dele Alli's better than him.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate, Lingard's bloody, he's scoring goals for fun and assisting loads, and
Absolutely.
their recruitment policy's been better. They've kind of learnt from their mistakes. You can see that. Obviously, their fans don't really like their owners, but you know they're getting the job done, and they've actually. If you play as a team, you win, and I think any team that's going to get into the top 4, they're going to have to play as a team, and I think there's just too much up and down with Spurs. There's not good enough defensively. There's too much bad animosity in the camp, and I just think it's not. Yeah, I don't think we deserve the top 4 in my personal opinion, and I don't think we'll get it. And if we do, we'll be very lucky to get it.
Bob's.
Yeah, if the question is, can we get top 4 still? Yeah, of course we can. We're mathematically, of course we can get top 4. We're 2 points behind Chelsea, 3 points behind West Ham. Of course, we can still get top 4. The only reason I'm still holding on to the fact that maybe we will get top 4 is not because of our spectacular performances. The fact we might be unlucky. No, we've lost games because we deserve to. We've drawn games we deserve to. We've actually drawn games we deserve to lose. But it's the inconsistencies of the teams above us. That's the only reason that gives me a bit of confidence. Not us. Yeah. It's because the other teams above us have been at times really shit.
But then every time you know Chelsea slips up, we have a chance to close the gap and we throw it away. So that's why I can't trust this team anymore. Every time we have a chance to get into the top 4 or gain 3 points, we just throw it away with silly goals and silly decisions and just being sloppy.
You know, the worst case scenario as well, Matt, is we get top 4. Jose goes up to the board and say, "Look, there you go. I've managed to get you top 4. I have earned another season, which I totally agree with. I need some money to make this team better." And the board turning around and say, "Well, you managed to get 4th out of this top place.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Nah, we'll give you about 10 million or something like that." You know, It'll be something stupid like that.
Maybe
if we went in that squad in the Champions League, we would get battered.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't even be funny. There would be no point.
Yeah. The reason why I think we can get top 4 still, that's what Bob said. I do believe these teams above us will drop points as well. It's because we've got 5 home games left out of the 8. We've got United, Southampton, Sheffield United, Wolves, and Villa at home, and we've got Everton, Leeds, Leicester away. Leicester's last game, and that could be the decisive. Do we get into the top 4 away at Leicester? What a game! Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, eh? But still, So there's still hope. There's still hope we can do it. But on the recent performances, I can't. It's not much confidence in it going into these last 8 games saying we're going to get top 4.
I have a worrying feeling Liverpool are going to start coming back now. In terms of, I know it was Arsenal and they didn't really play that well, but there was positive signs from Liverpool there. You know, their midfield.
Well, they pressed Arsenal and they got 3 goals.
Yeah, exactly. Why didn't Spurs do that? It can't be a. That's got to be a.
How did we make Arsenal look so good?
Oh, of course we made Arsenal look good. We made Chelsea look brilliant against us as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Liverpool looked good, and
West Ham.
All 3 of them.
And West Ham as well. We made West Ham look good as well. So the last question was John. It was in the comments. I can't find it now. I don't remember what he said, Bob. So I think it's something along the lines. Do you think the board will get rid of Jose Mourinho? Was it before the end of the season or the end of the season? It's one of them.
Jose, he needs to stay till the end of the season, and then we judge it. I'll be honest. If we don't win the cup and we finish 8th or 9th, he deserves to go. Of course he does. Yeah, the players haven't been there. If we finish 8th or 9th and the board do want to keep him, there's only one way they should keep him: do themselves giving themselves a bit of credit and give Jose, because the only way he should stay after 8 for 9 if the board turned around and said, "Here you go, it's 200 million, go and build a squad." If the board aren't going to do that, then he's not the right man for us. Because think about Jose, he doesn't make average or youth players great. What he does, he makes great players elite, and we have too many average players.
Average players, exactly.
Poor average players.
Yeah.
He makes great players elite. It's what he's done with Sonny. Is what he's done with Kane.
He's been
elite level.
Everywhere he's gone, he's been no good at bringing youth players in.
No, exactly.
And that's the point.
So
he needs his money.
That's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason why he should go at the end of the season. If the board aren't going to back him, you know, can you imagine the conversation? Here you go, Jose, sign across here. By the way, here's your job instructions. You must bring through youth, and you must play. You must make these really poor players great players, like Pochettino. You overachieved for so many years. Jose would have said, "Hang on, Mr. Levy. You see the CV of 26 trophies. None of these trophies have been won that way. I've won these trophies by bringing in my own players and spending a bit of money. Will you be able to do that?" And hopefully the Levy's turned around and said, "Right, okay, I'll back it. Give it a season and a half. I'll back it. Sign across there." It's such a big summer for the board. Such a big, and I sound like a broken record.
Yeah.
All eyes are on the board this season. And
Yeah.
what the board will determine if Jose stays or goes. Because if his vision and ambition doesn't match theirs and vice versa, it's never going to work.
And the thing is, I suppose the thing is with the board, you know, if they have a really bad summer and the fans are back in the stadiums, they'll let them know, I'm sure. You won't be able to hide anymore because it will not be a good. It will be a horrible atmosphere.
Yeah.
It will not be good.
They need to do the right thing. If it is, because unfortunately we're stuck with it. And if Phoenix plan go, we will know in the summer if what their ambition is. We will know this summer. But even if we finish fourth and we win a cup, the fans are aware there's so many cracks now. Winning a cup and finishing
that's just paper over cracks, exactly.
Of a season of inconsistencies. Us finishing fourth this season to an extent means nothing because of all the other teams and shit. It will just paper over so many cracks. That's why this summer will show the ambition of the owners.
I mean, like you said, Bob, there's obviously a lot of players that need to go. They obviously all are not going to go that we want, but they've got to make a start on it, haven't they? They've got to make 4 or 5. And Levy may have to he's going to have to cut his losses with certain players and not try and make profit out of them. He can't because no one's going to buy Aurier with 25 million or trying to get more money out of them. They're not good enough.
No.
So why would they pay more?
Yeah, exactly. But that's my problem with Jose at this time moment. And he can't even go to the board right now and say, look at this. They're not fitting into my identity. They're not fitting into the system because he doesn't have one right now. And in a way, I'm kind of backing Jose because I want him to get a system in place. I want him to get an identity in place. So he has got the backing, the credit of going to the board and showing him, facts that this is my identity. This is how I want my team to play. Because we all know how Klopp wants to play. As soon as he went into Liverpool, within the first year, we knew what Pochettino's idea was. Regardless of players, he was going to play counter-attacking, high press. Yeah, with Klopp the exact same, and he brought the players to fit that system.
I do think Mourinho wants to do that as well, though, because under Yao Sacramento, he's the type that they did when he was at Lille. They played like that. I believe it's how he wants to play, and there have been.
But at least play that way, then. At least play that way, then, Matt. Play that.
But I suppose the problem with that is if he doesn't know his best team and how you're supposed to do it, and if you don't have the players who can't press.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But then he's got a bit more
Sissoko and Winks, who are probably past their best, and Sissoko's getting old by the year.
If he's playing the players into his system and his identity, and they don't perform, he's got a bit more clout then, isn't he? He can go up to him and say, "Look, this player's not fit." It might be Dele Alli. It might even be, I don't know. It's not the case. But if Sonny, for example, fit into his plans or into his he can go with the view to the board. I want to sell Sonny. This is not going to happen. This is just hypothetical. I've got a system. I keep on playing it. Sonny doesn't fit into my system. We've got to sell him. And Levy can turn around and say, you know what, you're right. I can see what you're trying to do on the pitch. I can see the system. I can see the identity. So you're right. We can afford to get rid of Son. He and that's what it is. And I wish Jose just sticks to a system and sticks to an identity, be it low block, counter attack. But we don't have the players. You're right. But at least by playing them, and I mean, we've identified that Winks is shit this season. At the beginning of the season, Dyer, don't forget, the first few weeks, we thought he was the number one defender on the team sheet. Remember?
Yeah.
We thought he was the best defender we've ever had with Jose Masterclass. And now we can't wait to get. So hindsight's a great thing as well. And as a season on, there should be a developing process of identity and the way we play. Unfortunately, Jose just hasn't done it for me. And that gives him a slightly less clout to go to the board and say, these are the players I must have out. But yeah, regardless, it all falls back to the board. It all goes to the board, and our focus should be on the board, how they perform. And if their vision doesn't match Jose's, then unfortunately, they will have to let Jose go, because we're not doing Jose. We're going to break him even more.
Yeah, well, I think you know, obviously, I think I read a stat earlier that said if the Premier League games all finished at half time, we would be second in the league. Which like you say, it's down to a mentality. It's Mourinho wanted a centre back. He wanted a good one as well. He wanted a Skriniar. He wanted a Diaz. He didn't get either. He got Joe Roden. I'm not saying that's that's the problem we have.
That's it. I think the ambition's got to be matched.
Yeah,
the ambition's got to be matched.
I don't think the ambition's there, and I don't think the money's going to be there. So maybe in hindsight, he's not the man if he's not going to get the money.
I think
exactly. We need to save him for himself. We've got a duty of care, remember, to a manager.
Yeah.
And if by keeping him on and offering no money, we're going to break him. There's so many things about mental welfare. If the guy's going to be put for the shitstorm that he's had this season, by even not backing him again, then for me, Jose's not the right man. And I honestly believe that, because he's not matching and and the board's to blame. Of course, the board's to blame, and I've said that right from day one. They're the biggest issue, but they're not going anywhere. I think it might have to be a park.
I think where we can start there, Bobs. I think where we can start with Hitchin, get rid of him at the club.
Yeah,
and bringing Campos from who's literally. We got to act quick here, because it looks like it's gathering pace that he looks like he's going to Madrid.
But Campos, they're not going to give Campos. So you've got to remember, Hitchin, he's a shit wheeler dealer, but he must be. But no, but what though, Bobs? But what I'm saying, this board had ambition going forward. Exactly. That's the first thing you do. Hitchin, we know it's not going to happen. But as you said there, they've got ambition. Get rid of Hitchin, bring in Campos. We know he can. He's got such great experience of going abroad.
Or you bring in someone like a Campos who plays like, I suppose, a sporting director type role that stops Levy from getting involved in the transfers and meddling his way in it. Let the person who knows actually football and what they're doing in terms of transfers, let them do it, and Levy just deal with the business side. Give them the money and go, this is what you got. You got 30 million to get a centre back. Go and get who you want. Go and scout the country or whatever, and go and do your job. I'm not going to get involved. I'm taking the back seat.
Yeah. I would put all the players to one side. The only identity we've got off the field at the moment that Spurs through and through is David King. I'm a big believer. Now, bring this person in, but keep away from transfers. But what I want is an identity of someone who represents Tottenham near the top. And for me, Glenn Hoddle needs to come in just to say, look, I'm director of football. Don't get involved in trust, but I'm here as a person that when they talk about me, they'll know I'm associated with Tottenham, and I am someone who's Tottenham through and through. That might give fans a bit of hope. I mean, when Ledley became a coach, he gave us all the hope. He probably does fuck all on the training pitch, but he gave us something to identify to, and it gave us a bit of a. That's good. Bringing some of our own back. That's why I think getting someone at the higher level, just to represent us as a club, Glenn Hoddle, I'd get him in. He'd do it for free, Glenn Hoddle, wouldn't it? He'd do it for laugh. He would do it because he loves the club.
Yeah, I suppose the only thing with obviously if with his heart and all that, I suppose.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know.
Stress, and
I'm not even involved in it.
Yeah, I suppose with him, you're thinking of your health as well, and of his family, and it would be a stressful job. Let's be honest, it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Would any job at Tottenham is so.
So guys, we'll go through these last few comments, then we'll head out. We've got John. We can get top 4, but I don't think we will.
That's the spirit.
I want us to, and I think we can, but I just don't think we're good enough, or don't think we will. I just don't think we've got it in us this season.
Paul says we believe we could get top. I think he means for 3 points off before the weekend. So now being 2 points, why wouldn't we still believe?
Because Chelsea lost the game they were supposed to win, and we were handed on the plate. To get that top 4.
And to be honest, you know for a fact now that Chelsea, I think with their mentality, they're winning a lot of stuff. They're going to bounce back and they'll go on a bit of a run. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, exactly, Matt. Paul says we made Newcastle like Barcelona. Oh dear. John says we made Newcastle look half decent as well. Top 943 says a good show, lads, but we're too Spursy to do anything now for the rest of the season. I can see where you're coming from there, pal. Yesterday just sums it up. And John says it was. Do you think the board have already decided? Oh, here we go. Do you think the board already decided to get rid of Jose Mourinho? Quickly, guys.
No.
The 30 million. 30 million as well.
30 million. I personally think they're going to maybe wait and see what happens at the end of the season. If he wins the cup, they've got to wait. There's no point doing it now. You've got 8 games left. You might as well just hang on in there and see what happens at the end.
Exactly. Sorry. Where was we? It's here. Paul says, I think brought Josie in with the intention to back him. However, the pandemic threw a spanner in the works. I think, don't you reckon, Bobs? Don't you reckon it's had a bit of effect with the money situation?
No, because I think our stadium's still there. The stadium is the biggest money-making machine that any Premier League club's got. The stadium's still there. The stadium's still going to get full to the rafters when we're opening up. Lady Gaga still.
So are you saying the board are making and the club are saying it's this an excuse and using the pandemic as an excuse?
Because they make the money back, mate. Say for example, you have to spend 200 million this summer, right? They can't use the closure of thing because that money will come in eventually. It might come back over 3 or 4 or 5 years, but it's not like we're going to get relegated. The only thing that could be questionable would be, we might not get top 4. But if the only reason the board are going to be spending 200+ million is on players that are going to take us to the top 4. So as a business deal, right? Okay, the extra revenue comes from the Champions League. Let's make this team better. Let's borrow some. Personally, I don't think they'll have to borrow money, but let's borrow this money from a lender, 200 million, whatever. You've got guaranteed backs. You've got guaranteed income coming in. Guaranteed. £1 million a game we're bringing in. £1 million a game we're bringing in.
Wow.
38 million just on the league. 38 million.
That's just on the game. You think about what Son brings to the team. Asian coverage.
So I'm sorry,
global.
Paul. Sorry, Paul. I love your dodgy beard and everything, and I like your opinion. Mate. No, it's wrong, mate. It's a get out clause that they're using. And
plus, they're not even like they're paying off the stadium little instalments every year.
25 years, isn't it? 25 years long. Yeah.
I could easily afford it. Easily.
Yeah, exactly. So John says, do you reckon Sacramento has as much influence on Jose?
Matt knows about it more than me because he likes it.
Well, I mean, I watched him when he was at Lille. I mean, there are times where you've seen Spurs press, and obviously you've heard stuff from Alistair Gold where he's heard Mourinho and Sacramento on the touchline shout, press high, press. And I don't know, I suppose if the team just aren't listening to you, well, what are you supposed to do? I mean, I suppose if you pull them out and you bring the youngsters in, but it's something Mourinho's never done and probably never will do. So, but I believe if Sacramento maybe had a bit more of the charge, I believe he probably would have brought a few of the youngsters through.
Yeah.
Because he did it at Lille, and they've still got a young team. So,
nice one, Matt. Paul says, "I'm so torn between whether a new manager could get more out of this squad or the players. All the players just aren't good enough."
Bit of both.
Yeah, a new manager comes in, and that squad will probably go
a bit of a
five,
yeah.
6 game winning streak, and then when the going gets tough or they get a bad loss, there'll be stuff that comes out, and it'll be all.
Yeah. We'll all agree, you know, Ali's shit at the moment, but we all agree there's a player in there somewhere. Who's to say that a new manager can't get the best out of it? You know, so we, you know, possibly, yeah, there is a manager who out there could possibly get more out of players, get more out of soccer team. That's going too far, but you know, certain players. But yeah, Paul's spot on as well. There are players out there who simply, in simplest of terms, are good enough.
Exactly. Cheers. Nice one, guys. Top 943 says Jose already looks a broken man.
Did you get that picture I sent? Did you get a picture I sent you? A picture from his first press conference?
Yeah.
Mate.
When he was happy, then now, yeah, he doesn't look. He doesn't look good. John says at top 943. I agree. He looks like he's had enough. Carlos says can't see us putting a good run together to get top 4. Thank you, Carlos. And Lily Whitelane says brilliant stream, lads. Thank you very much, Robbie.
Yes.
Nice one, pal. So guys, yes, we have come to a close now. We've had our 2 hours and 40 minutes nearly of it was only meant to be an hour. Matt's got to be up early in the morning. Matt's got an early start tomorrow, 6 o'clock.
Wow.
So he better go get some sleep in a minute. So guys, thanks for everyone who's tuned in tonight. We've had an absolute great crowd. Absolutely great crowd. And we had a good debate. We've had a good debate. And it's all about opinions, guys. Everyone's got their own opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. And
as long as they can back it up.
And,
yeah. It's all very well shouting Jose out, Jose in, but at least give some facts and give a bit of clout to your opinion. And I think we'll all of us do that. Robbie included.
Yeah, of course. Everyone does it. Everyone's got their back up to what they actually mean of what they're saying. But as I said, guys, we actually accept everyone with their opinion. We respect it. You know what I mean? Because everyone's entitled to their opinion. And we've got John saying, cheers, guys. Nice one, John. Thanks for coming in, pal.
Cheers,
so thanks for coming, everyone. The likes of Paul, John, Carlos, top 943 especially. He comes in all the time with Yusuf, Wayne as well, in Turnish. There's been a few. Darcy as well, Eunice, beloved Hotspur, everything football Finn. Got Simon Patterson as well, so all them. Thanks for everyone who's been a good. It's been a good crowd tonight. And top 943, enjoy your egg McMuffin, Matt. So guys, thanks for coming in, everyone, and thanks for Bob's for jumping on as well. Head over to Bob's. Where can they find you, mate?
Bob Spur TV on YouTube, but today I just popped in because I saw these guys on, and I owe a lot to Matt and Simon. They know how much they mean to me, and I just wanted to come on and give the guys some support and add my 2 pence worth as well. Plus, I felt sorry for Robbie as well. So,
oh dear, brilliant. Well, if you got to come on here, mate, it doesn't matter how old you are. You have to take it. So if you're gonna spout it out, you got to take it. But Robbie takes it. Robbie does take it. So thanks for the guys. Co-host Matt is back again. That's what Troop says. Back again. He's a busy man. He'll probably come and go. Now he's back at work soon. So, but we'll definitely see more of Matt
How is
coming
that?
up as well.
How is the new pimping? Sorry, Matt. Sorry, mate.
Don't give away my new business.
Sorry, mate. Oh, sorry.
So guys, so thanks for Bob's for tuning in. Absolutely fantastic for jumping on.
No worries.
I said, guys, we have been Premier Hotspur TV, guys. I've been Simon. This has been Bob's from Bob Spur TV. Get over to his channel, show him some love, subscribe to his channel, guys. Bring some good content lately. He's over 100 subscribers now. Go on, Bob's.
Yeah, come on.
Yes, come on. And always Matt comes in again. I mean, always here when I ask him to. He's always here. Always saves the day, Matt. He does. So obviously, Matt. I don't think he'll be available tomorrow. I'll be doing 12 o'clock tomorrow, guys. The Unbiased Premier League show. Matt's on a first aid course, Matt, isn't it? Yeah.
Mate, yeah.
So guys, I'll be bringing.
I would have been there, but yeah.
Not a problem, pal. Seriously, 12 o'clock, guys. Unbiased Premier League show. I'll be bringing the weekend's results, and I'll bring up the up-to-date mini league. Matt, you can get your things in. I think I've done quite good this weekend. So happy days. Carlos says great stuff, lads. So as I said, we're going to head out now, guys. From me, Premier Hotspur TV, and Simon, from Matt as well, from Bob's. Good night. God bless, and we'll see you soon, guys. Good night, guys. Good night. God bless. And we'll see you tomorrow, guys. 12 o'clock back on here, guys. Remember, 12 p.m. Unbiased Premier League show. Good night, guys.